And up, New York Giant fans.
How we doing, Chris? Long time no see. We got a game tomorrow.
Yeah.
We got a holiday tomorrow. That's night before Thanksgiving.
Less than 2 hours away from Thanksgiving, by the way.
That's correct. Hopefully all you guys and girls are in a good mood. Hopefully a lot of you have the day off tomorrow. And you can come by and hang out with Chris and I as we watch the New York Giants pull off the greatest upsets in Super Bowl 42.
Be nice.
That'd be nice. Is that reality?
Listen, anything can happen.
Well, we're going to talk about it tonight.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Chris, how do we win this game?
Everybody in this chat goes to church early tomorrow. They pray.
Okay.
Maybe Dak Prescott forgets how to play football. Maybe our offensive line learns how to play football.
That'd be nice.
No, but all kidding aside, I mean, I think, and we talked about it on Patty's stream, but things got to go our way. We have to steal possessions, whether it be by creating turnovers, whether it be by, surprise onside kicks. The Giants have to think outside of the box in this game, because it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough sledding. You got your fourth and fifth cornerback out there. We're going to be at a tremendous disadvantage on both sides of the ball. We saw how they ate us up the first time around in the trenches, much like Detroit did last week. And, yeah, I think it's a mismatch. I mean, it's obvious it's a mismatch in the trenches, which is where the games are usually won and lost. Giants are going to have to find a way to get creative and at least keep this game close. I think the Giants' best chance to keep this game close is to do what they've been doing, which is run the football. But can they do it effectively? I think last week you got to have serious doubt whether or not they can, based off the way that Detroit was able to guard against it. But maybe they use Daniel Jones' legs a bit more this week. And the Giants, maybe they hit a couple of big plays. We know that Trayvon Diggs is not the best in terms of coverage. But, yeah, I think a couple of fluke things have to happen in this game if the Giants are going to even keep it competitive. But, hey, you never know. That's why they play the game.
I agree. If we're going to win this game, we got to win the turnover battle. There is no question. We got to find a way to force turnovers. We got to convert third downs. We can't do the crap that we did last week. We can't have any of that. And we have to hope Dallas has a lot of that. This would have been difficult had we been healthy. And on top of playing the worst game we played all year against Detroit, we had a bevy of injuries, including the one to Adoree Jackson, which really freaking stings. Because obviously we were thin in the secondary anyway, and now we lose our best corner, and it just sucks. This will certainly not be easy at all. And, I mean, that's why they play the games. There's definitely no guarantees. But if we're going to win this game, we got to be perfect, and they have to make mistakes. So if we're going to win, you mentioned it, we got to get a little creative. We're going to have to run some trick plays, I believe, because I don't think we can just line up and beat these guys. We couldn't do it the first time, and our offensive line is decimated with injuries. I mean, everything's decimated with injuries. You might have to run some wildcat. You might have to run some two-back sets. You might have to run some reverses or jet sweeps. You might have to try stuff like that. You might have to run a flea flicker. I mean, I don't know what the answer is, but it's certainly not going to be easy at all. Let me get to a couple of these really quickly. Yvonne Philippe, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. He says 41-17 Giants. I'm kidding. It might be the other way around, unfortunately. But, if we won 20-17, I'd be thrilled. Like I said, I want the greatest miracle ever. I was talking about it right before the stream. Of course, the Giants fan base would be so happy. It'd be the first time like the entire Giants fan base would be all together about being very happy. Beating Dallas would make anybody happy. I'll tell you what, if you beat Dallas, the Eagle fans would be happy. The
on
Commander
Thanksgiving,
fans would be happy.
nevertheless.
What's that?
On Thanksgiving, nevertheless.
Oh, it'd be the best.
You can't do much better for a regular season win than that.
No, that'd be a good one. And I can tell you, the other teams in the NFC East, they're rooting for us.
Yeah.
They hate Dallas.
Yeah. Everybody hates Dallas.
They hate him. Big Moo. Thank you for the super chat. He says, not looking forward to this game. Can get ugly fast. I look forward to every Giants game. Just be competitive. Just be there in the fourth quarter. We keep this game close. We have a chance to win. We can win. Just can't get knocked out early. That's really the way I look at it. If we can keep this game competitive into the third quarter, I think we're going to have a chance to win it. If we're playing from behind like we did last week, we're down 24-6. Good night, Irene.
Yeah.
Strike up the band. So.
Yep.
Benjamin, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, my friend. He says, good luck tomorrow. Rooting hard for you guys. I've said this to you before. We live in a world where the only constant is change. Why hasn't Brandon Rodgers sports I don't see either one of them anymore.
I see Brendan Rodgers every now and again.
I don't see Sports Expert anymore.
I don't. Yeah, I haven't seen Sports Expert. But maybe once in a very. I see him on Twitter actually, but I haven't seen him on YouTube.
I see him in Uncle Lou's streams.
Yeah,
and that's about it. Big Daddy, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you, brother. He says just too many injuries, especially the key starters. That's what deflated me last week. The injuries. When Adoree Jackson went down, it took all the wind out of my sails.
Yeah,
really, that one really hurt. That one hurt.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's our most important, probably our most important player in the defense at this point, especially, I mean, my God, like on top of the cornerbacks being out, you also got McKinney out. So like that was already a big dent in the defense. Right. And now you lose Jackson and this was preventable. And who knows if it was preventable. He may have gotten hurt in playing cornerback, but he shouldn't have been returning punts. I think most Giant fans agreed with that long before he got hurt doing it. So yeah, our secondary, I don't know what Wink's going to do. I said it in Patricia's stream. I think his approach is going to be actually what Patrick Graham used to do, bend but don't break. I can't imagine us being ultra aggressive right now with all the vulnerabilities in our defense right now. I really can't. And it's going to be frustrating to watch tomorrow because Dallas is going to have 6-yard run after 6-yard run, 7-yard run, because we're not going to be able to stack the box. We're not
8-yard pass, 9-yard pass, 6-yard.
It's going to happen. It's got you just be prepared for it. I know you guys hate that, but that's the only approach I could see us having going into this game.
Death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Yeah.
But as we talked about on Patty's stream, if the Giants have any chance, you have to make Dallas do that. You have to make Dallas have 11 and 12 play drives because at that point, there's more of an opportunity for them to commit a holding penalty or a false start or an offensive pass interference or an illegal block or something. There's more opportunity for them to turn the ball over. I'd much rather them have to go 11, 12 plays and score that way as opposed to Wink bringing the pressure. Dak Prescott drops back. They pick up our blitz and Adoree Jackson. CeeDee Lamb runs right by Rodarius Williams for a 70-yard touchdown. I don't want that. I don't want quick hitters. I don't want those big knockout punches. Make them earn it. And if they get down in the red zone, you got to try to find a way to hold them to 3. And that's really what it has to be. We can't give up a big play in this game. So, it's going to be that. And I don't like that Patrick Graham style. I hate that. But against Dallas, that may be the only way that we really have a chance to beat them is by limiting their possessions.
With all the guys that we have out on the defense, I think that's the only approach they can take.
Yep, agreed. Floyd, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Says happy Thanksgiving, fellas. Absolutely.
You too, Floyd. Thank you for being here, buddy.
Thank you, guys. Benjamin, my friend, thank you again for the super chat. Brilly. He says, Chris, just 1 24-hour stream in my lifetime.
Gotta hit that number. I told you. Gotta hit the number.
It's close.
Yeah, I just don't upload as much as I used to, so it's going to take a while. Eventually, I'll hit it.
Close, 50,000. That'll be done by the end of the football season.
Not this football season.
Why not?
I only gain like 400 subscribers a month, 500 subs. That's not maybe by the start of next football season.
Well, if we get a playoff stream.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
But yeah. Well, listen, I've retired from those. Well, I shouldn't say retired from them, but I have I've said that last one I did was going to be the last planned where it's bi-yearly where I do it every 6 months. They take a lot out of me. And I was like, it's kind of my swan song. So I won't be doing them on a consistent basis the way I used to, but it doesn't mean I won't do one in the future. It's just they're tough. Doesn't matter how many you do. Staying up for 20
there's no way I would enjoy that. There's no way I would enjoy that.
I enjoy it. I just get tired. I mean, that's really what it is. And then it takes you a couple of days to recover from it.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but I always like it because they're for a good cause. And I do enjoy it. I like a challenge. So it's very challenging, but it's hard to commit to that. It's getting harder and harder. I've done 7 of them. But again, I'll never say never, but I can't do it. Not to mention, not to get all personal, but I work for the state, so contracts come around and I could lose vacation weeks. Talk about taking extra vacation weeks from us, and everything. Yeah, there's a lot of crap going on, which means I may not be able to take the vacations like I like to. So I might have to change things around. That one in April is always mine, though, just so you know.
Yeah.
Just so you know. The one in April, the draft week, always mine.
Oh, yeah.
Always mine. Eric, thank you. Appreciate it. He says, everyone lost their balls. I trust the coaches. I like the coaches, too. I just don't think we have the talent. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think we'll come out with a good game plan. I hope. Listen, that's why they play the games. You never know, but it's gonna be a tough game tomorrow. It's gonna be a tough game.
And Wife of Life, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. He says thoughts on Ezekiel Elliott wearing women's tank tops.
He wore that when he's worn that since he was at Ohio State.
He's a weirdo. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, didn't he get caught buying dildos a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
Him and Dak buying dildos together.
They are Cowboys. I mean, Brokeback Mountain.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? I bet you that's what they call each other in the locker room too. Hey, Cowboy. Yeah. Zeke's a weirdo. I mean, I'm a weirdo.
Yeah.
But Zeke is like next level weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did. He always used to wear the half shirts. And I'll be honest. I mean, I got better abdominals than Zeke, and I don't walk around in that crap. So that's right, Zeke. I got better abs. But Zeke would kick my ass. I can't deny that. He's way bigger than me. Template, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. I'm worried about our O-line holding up. You're the only one.
Yeah. And here you go, by the way. Somebody said, when was this? Here you go. Here's the picture. I'll share it.
Yeah.
I'll share it for the chat real quick. Hold on one second.
Zeke might as well just put on a dress like Ricky Williams did.
Here's the where is it? There it is. Baddog could share that for you. With the blue circle right there. There's Zeke with his purchase next to Dak.
Yeah. Teach wrong, but yeah. Look at Dak. Look at this smart. Dak's like, yeah, Dak looked like he was like, yeah, that'll do. How about them Cowboys?
There you go.
Listen, we may be a 10-point dog. That don't mean we can't talk a little shit to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Hate the Cowboys. Hate them. Listen, I always rag on the Eagles, but the Cowboys don't get a pass. I hate the Cowboys about this much less than I hate Philadelphia. I hate Dallas with a passion.
Oh, yeah.
With a passion.
Oh, yeah.
The most fair weather fan base in sports. They're good. Oh, I'm a Cowboy fan. They're bad. I don't watch football. That's the Cowboys. And trust me, as a guy that lives in upstate New York, I can speak to this because I see this every day of my life up here. So I know. There shouldn't be any Dallas Cowboy fans up here. Should not be more Cowboy fans than Patriots fans. I live right near Massachusetts. That should not be the case, but there is. Bob, thank you so much, brother. Really appreciate it. Brilly, my friend. He says, happy Turkey Day, my friends. Love my G-Man. Been a fan since 84. You and me both. I believe, Blue, you should see my man cave, but I just, with all the injuries, don't have a good feeling about this game, but I will be cheering my butt off for a W. I think we're all in that boat, Bob.
We'll all be cheering our butt off for a W, Bob.
But you're right, Bob. The injuries, man, it's
going to it with, I mean, listen, I know fans aren't going to, but my advice to you is going to it with reasonable expectations.
Right.
Like, realize that this is a David versus Goliath with all the guys that we have out going into this game.
It's a tough game. Listen, it was going to be tough if we were healthy. It's short week, a lot of injuries. It's not optimal. It definitely isn't, unfortunately. Tommy B, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you, brother. He says, happy Turkey Day, fellas. I had more confidence going into Super Bowl 42 compared to tomorrow. We were at least healthy back then. Hard to overcome injuries.
We've been able to do it all year, but I think it's getting to a point now where it's like, come on. Yeah. Like, you're missing your number one safety, your number one corner. You're missing your starting right tackle. You're missing all your
wide receiver.
Yeah, your wide receivers. You're missing your starting center. You're missing one of your starting guards. It's like you're missing your starting tight end. Yeah. It's like, come on. Like,
you're also missing, aren't you? We were missing.
You're missing Azeez Ojulari.
Right. It's a lot of misses.
Yeah.
You know, you're missing Sterling Shepard, another one, missing 2 slot receivers.
Yeah.
Just sucks.
Yeah, you're missing backups of backups. You're
Right.
missing Moreau.
Right, Moreau's out.
Yeah, it's like
Zudu, he's out, right? Or is he not out?
Zudu's out.
Lemieux's out.
Mm-hmm.
So
Feliciano's out.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus is out.
I'll be praying for Daniel Jones before I go to bed tonight, that he survives.
Yes, I will also do this. Say a prayer for our quarterback. Please. And Andrew Thomas is sick on top of it.
Yep.
So, like Chris says, if Andrew Thomas has to sit out tomorrow, maybe Tyrod should start. Not because we think he gives us a better chance to win, but just to protect our quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, if Andrew Thomas is out, maybe Tyrod just has to be the sacrificial lamb tomorrow on Turkey Day. I don't know. It's not going to be easy. Michael, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Really, where would a W rank on the regular season all-time shocking wins in your lifetimes? For me, at 32 years old, the New England game in 2011 ranks high on my list.
Yeah. Oh, regular season. Yeah. When Ballard caught the touchdown to win the game. This would be more shocking for me than that one, because that year, at least, I mean, we had a good team. I mean, it wasn't a great team. Eli overcame a lot of the deficiency on that roster, but we had a pretty good team, and we had won a Super Bowl as recently as 4 years before, and we had the best team in football the year after that first Super Bowl. So, well, that was a surprise. This to me would be more surprising than that win. I think it would be more surprising than the Seattle win a couple of years ago with Joe Judge. Yeah, I think this would be it's hard for me to come up with a regular season game that I would view more surprising than this one. The Ravens one was pretty surprising this year, but with all the injuries we've got, I think this would be more surprising than that one.
The one that I can think of, Michael, 1998 against Denver.
Oh, Denver, when they were undefeated.
They were undefeated, and we were, I think, 5-8 or
that's
5
a good one.
9.
Yeah.
And I want to say it was Monty Toomer that called the game winner.
Was it Callaway or Toomer?
Yeah, maybe it was Juravicious. I don't. It was. I thought it was Toomer. It could have been Joe Juravicious. But that was up there.
That one's a good one. That one's probably that one's.
But
that
yeah, Michael, I can't think of one outside of that game against Denver where I can think of like something that was a complete upset. Like the Giants are 5-2 going into that game against New England, and well, I mean we're 7-3, but God Almighty, we are beat up and beat up bad. So this would be tough. I would love it if we could win. I can tell you that. Cody Trout, thank you, my friend. Based off what Dak and Zeke have bought, it sounds like they're Brokeback Mountain Cowboys. I'm sure they are. I mean, neither one of them are married, are they?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean, we all know Zeke got in trouble for doing something, lifted some girl's shirt up, but he didn't enjoy that.
That's a good one by Irish Rover, but not the game itself, but where they were at that point in the game. Yes. The comeback against the Cowboys by Eli, I think in 2011, we were down by like 9 points with like 5 minutes to go.
Yes, that was a big comeback.
Yeah. Actually, it might have even been more than that. I can't recall, but it was definitely
when Tony Romo missed Terrell Owens wide open.
Yeah.
Terrell Owens, I can't remember them. I don't know. It was Miles.
Was it?
It was Miles Austin.
Yeah, it might have been Miles Austin.
And then Jason Pierre-Paul blocked the kick.
Yeah. That was
it's just another reason Eli should have won MVP in 2011. If we lose that game, we didn't make the playoffs.
And yeah, it was 12 points, Bob. Yeah, I thought it was. It was 2 touchdowns we needed. I remember that. Yep, it was 12 points.
No, right, that's right. We were down 34-22.
Yeah,
and Eli brought us back.
Incredible.
Rev Rebel, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. He says, "You the man, Bad Dog." How could I be the man? You the man. He says, "Get ready for another loss tomorrow. Let's go Cowboys." Zeke and Dak out here being suspect. Shaking my head. Yeah, I'm thinking Rev Rebel is a Commanders fan, but he's a Cowboys fan. But there's another guy, Raw Rebel. He's a Commanders fan, so I got them confused. Listen, Rev Rebel, I'd be lying to you if I said I was going into this game confident we're going to win. I can't sit here and
Cowboys. If the Cowboys don't win tomorrow, Cowboys fans should be embarrassed if they don't win tomorrow.
Cowboys fans might jump off a bridge.
Yeah.
If they lose
as a Giants fan, I have no pressure going into tomorrow. I
don't. We are definitely expected to get blown out of this.
Yeah. So I think all the pressure on Dallas.
Definitely is. Luis, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. He says, feels like Little Giants game coming up. Maybe we can win with the annexation of Puerto Rico playing last minute. Call me Becky. That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, the Little Giants.
Love that movie.
Oh my God. We need all the help we can get. I just want a competitive game, man. Just keep us in this game. Just keep us in. Just give us a chance. That's all I'm asking for is a chance at the end. Like we did the first game. We lose, we lose. I don't want them to do to us what they did in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
I don't think they will. I don't think it's gonna be that bad. But I think we're gonna lose by at least 2 to 3 scores. I don't think it's gonna be 40-3. I don't think it'll be like that, but I don't think it's gonna be
that Rev Rebel. No, he's a Cowboys fan, and even he knows that they're sus. I'm glad that, I'm surprised Benjamin didn't say that that's sports expert and KP going and shopping for that. I was waiting for that. Big Moo. Thank you, my friend. He says, going to be eating bologna instead of turkey. I don't think we can be friends anymore, Big Moo. You should not eat bologna at any time, let alone on Thanksgiving. But then again, I'm not having a traditional Thanksgiving meal myself because it's not my cheat day. I can't do it.
Why don't you just make your cheat day Thanksgiving, though?
Because then it's only 4 days in between cheat meals. I don't like that. My body's not used to that. And then I got to wait 9 days. Like it's the waiting the night. Listen, I could have a cheat day tomorrow. I got no problem. I love eating. It's the 9-day wait. I can't do it. I have to get to Saturday. And I showed you, people that follow me on Instagram saw that big ass pecan pie that's in my refrigerator that my wife's like, yeah, I bought 2 pecan pies. One's for you. So that's why I married you, because she just knows. She's good like that. She's good like that. She didn't buy it from the store. She knows someone that bakes homemade pies, and they're amazing. But she's like,
why
yeah,
would
you
eat bologna over turkey?
I don't know, but everybody's got different tastes.
I don't like that taste.
I'm not a bologna guy either.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wasn't when I was a kid, but I don't know. I don't even know what the hell bologna is. Like bologna's like a hot dog. It's like a raw hot dog. Like I don't even know what bologna's made of.
Yeah.
What is bologna made of? Anybody know?
Not something that I'd have on Thanksgiving. That's what it's made of.
My bologna has a first name. It's Oscar. Is that my bologna has a last name? Anybody else old enough to remember that one? Listen, they're honoring John Madden tomorrow. Boom! That was a little John Madden. We'll probably have a lot of that tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
probably throw a lot.
You can't not think about John Madden on Thanksgiving.
You got to. Listen, win, lose or draw. I plan on having a good time tomorrow. I plan on hanging out with the best chat on YouTube. I plan on watching Giants game. It's Thanksgiving. It's football. We're 7-3. Worst we're going to do is come out of here 7-4, still in a wild card spot. So, as I mentioned on Patty Stream, Dallas wins, they win. They sweep us in the regular season, and then we get our revenge in the postseason.
The pressure game is the next week. This is the game that gets all the glitz and the glamour because it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that Commanders game is very important.
The Commanders game is the big one.
And I can tell you this, there's good news, Chris. We have a long break in between this time.
But I'm going to give you bad news. I agree. The first game, good news. You get an extra 4 days. The bad news, we play them 2 weeks after that, and
they're coming off a bye.
And they're coming off a bye.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have 14 days to prepare against the same team they just played.
I know.
Well, so that's the bad news. The good news is, we get that 4-game advantage on Washington before the first one.
Yes.
Which makes that first one even more important to win.
Yes. McFrench Fry. Thank you for the $5. Boom shakalaka. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, my friend. Peter Randazzo, thank you for the super chat. Brilly. The Cowboys are 1-9 at AT&T Stadium. Is that true?
Against the spread in their last.
Against the spread.
In the last 10 Thanksgiving. Oh, well, I know they haven't done well on Thanksgiving. I think I want to say they're like 1-4, just in general in their last 5 Thanksgiving games. Not that means a whole lot.
I know they lost to the Bills the one year.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up right now, but I remember looking this up recently, and they have not fared well on Thanksgiving recently.
That is rough. VT Jake, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, my friend. He says, you men have become a big part of my life these past few years. Watching the game is not the same without Baddog and Tainah play-by-play. This season, I am thankful for you too. Happy Thanksgiving. Well, thank you, Jake.
Thank you. Appreciate that, man.
And we feel the same way about all you guys and girls too.
Here's how they fared on Thanksgiving. They lost last year to the Raiders 36-33 in overtime. They lost to Washington in 2020 41-16. Was that the year that Dak got? Yeah, that was the year Dak was hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that would make sense. Then the year before that, they lost to the Bills 26-15. That was kind of before Josh Allen took off. 2018, they beat Washington. So they've lost their last 3, and then they lost to the Chargers the year before that. So yeah, they've dropped 4 of their last 5 on Thanksgiving.
All right. Well, let's make it 5 out of 6.
That'd be nice.
That'd be amazing. No, ma'am. And that is a great name. Thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate you. Dog Pound members, you know what to do. Welcome. No, ma'am. Al Bundy's group to the Dog Pound. Thank you, my friend, for becoming a member. I appreciate it. No, ma'am. I forgot what it stood for, but that is definitely Married with Children, Al Bundy group, where there's something about no women. Whatever. I forgot what that stands for, but
I gotta binge that show. I didn't get to I watched it when I was a kid, younger, but I didn't really get to appreciate Married with Children as much as I should have. I gotta binge that.
Stream it, but if not, I swear to God, it's always on Logo, the channel Logo.
I'm sure there's a streaming service I could watch it on.
I'm sure there is.
I'm watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia right now, which, by the way, I don't know if you've ever watched that show. You would love it.
I've watched part of it before.
I love that show, and I hate everything about Philadelphia, but I love that show.
Yeah. Well, it's Danny DeVito.
You can't go wrong with Danny DeVito.
No, of course not. Of course not. That's why Twins is such a great movie. It's a terrible movie, but it's great anyway.
Yeah,
it's Danny DeVito. Bob, thank you for the super chat, brother. Really appreciate it. He says, with all our injuries, I might be wrong, but is Landon Collins active or not? And if not, why? He's not active. And we talked about this on Patty stream. They don't really have the money to bring him up. Like, they don't want to use the money to bring him up now because they have such a slim margin. So she figured that interior offensive line, like the offensive line and the receivers, are more of a need than Landon Collins because they've been playing him at inside linebacker and they've been using Micah McFadden there. So that was her answer to it. And she would know better than us because she works with them.
So, by the way, I see what the abbreviation stands for: National Organization of Men Against Amazonian Masterhood.
I would have never remembered that one. That would have been a good trivia question. I would never remember that. Never. Tommy, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. He says, perfect. I like this one. He says, perfect time for KG to get 13 catches for 218 yards and 3 touchdowns and a win. Talk about becoming a New York hero in one day. As Chris says, from your lips to God's ears. If he could get half of that.
I just want to get 1 touchdown.
Right. I'm just 7 catches, 109 yards. You can't really get 1.5 touchdowns. 7 catches, 109 and a touchdown. I'd sign up for that.
Yeah.
That was the only good thing that came out of last week's game, is that he caught both passes that were thrown to him. He didn't drop anything.
Yeah. And Wandell obviously got hurt, but he looked great.
Wandell wasn't great. I even said that when we were playing, watch the game. I was like, if there's one bright spot that came out of there, maybe they figured out how to use Wandell Robinson. And then, of course, things went from bad to worse. It was just, that was a week from hell last week.
Yeah, it was.
That was a week from hell because we got beat by, they were better than us in that day, but I still think we're better than Detroit. And we had a bad, sloppy game in every single aspect of the football game. And then we dealt with a ton of injuries too. So this is not a good day. Gavin, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. He says, Giants win tomorrow and shock Cowgirl Nation. If you like it or you don't, learn to love, because it's the best thing going today. Woo!
I hope you're right, Gavin. Listen, that would make my day if we ever won that, because if we won that, I don't want to hear another negative comment about Daniel Jones for the rest of the year. If we win that,
I'm off on Friday. If we win that, I might get a buzz. I might say, all right, the hell with it. I'm just going to drink empty carbs and catch a buzz. Yeah. I am definitely having 1 alcohol beverage with you fine ladies and gentlemen tomorrow. I will forego like 200 calories of nothing for that game. Maybe more, depending on how the game goes, maybe more. We'll see. Thanksgiving. I'm going to enjoy that regardless.
Be nice.
If we win, it'd be unbelievable. I mean, I don't know what I'd do. But, it's probably the same thing I would do for a Klondike bar, and I don't know what I would do for a Klondike bar. Remember those commercials?
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah, I don't know if those are even around anymore. Do they make Klondike bars anymore?
Yeah, they do.
Okay. I never saw. I mean, I buy Nick's ice cream. I mean, we all know that.
I saw the Klondike's making like this. I didn't get it, but I saw it when I was at a rest stop. They have like Klondike like drinks now, where it's in like it's almost like a Capri Sun type thing, and it's like you drink like I guess it's a Klondike bar in liquid form.
It was like a milkshake then.
I guess, yeah, but
Or
it tastes like a Klondike.
Or Yoo-hoo.
Yeah, I didn't get it, but that's like a new thing they got going.
Danny, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Brilly says, hey, Tainah and Baddog. I hope you guys have a Thanksgiving. I'll try that again. Hey, Tainah and Baddog. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. I will enjoy watching the Cowboys and Giants beat up on each other tomorrow. I always love it when two teams in the NFC East fight against each other, too.
We hope you have a happy Thanksgiving, too, and we hope your Eagles get their asses kicked this week, Danny.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're playing Green Bay. I don't think Green Bay will beat you, but you never know. But, I know that Eagle fans are pulling for the Giants tomorrow. I know they are. It's not because they like us. It's like the lesser of two evils.
Well, yeah, they view Dallas as a bigger threat for the
Well, because Dallas is a bigger threat. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
At this point, they are. Big Moo. Thank you. Don't need DJ running. If he gets hurt, oh boy. I mean, DJ may be running anyway. And if DJ gets sacked, he could get hurt. Oh boy. So
he's going to be running.
Maybe him running is the best thing for him to stay healthy.
Whether it be running for his life or design plays, he's going to be running.
Right. Listen, if we have any chance of winning this game, he has to use his legs. We have to run that RPO. We have to make that defense honest for a second, where they're like, is Barkley getting it? Is Daniel Jones getting it? We have to be able to do something. We have to be able to run the ball, whether that's with Barkley, Breida, Jones, Brightwell, whatever. We have to figure something out, because we can't be throwing the ball around. We can't be going 3 and out. Can't do that. We have zero chance.
I wish our wide receivers could block, because I would like wide receiver screens. I would like us to do stuff.
One thing Sterling Shepard was very good at was blocking.
Yeah, like the extension of a run game is something like that too. But I just feel like we can't. We're not good at that. We can't block.
Christopher, thank you for the super chat. Brilly, my friend. By the way, we got 420 people in here. 420 crew, you know what to do. Smoke them because you got them. But hit the thumbs up if you haven't. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. More importantly, go into the description. Subscribe to this fine gentleman over here. We do the show every week. We alternate channels. We also do every game together in alternate channels. Tomorrow we will be live. I saw somebody ask. Yes, 4:00 tomorrow. Chris and I will be calling the game. It'll be on this channel. Come on by, satiate yourself, eat a ton, drink a ton, be merry, have fun, and then come over here, loosen your belt a little bit, sit back, relax, and hang out with Chris and Entertainer. We will give you our best Madden and Summerall to honor the great legends in that Thanksgiving Day game. And hopefully our Giants do the same thing. Christopher, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Says, when are the Giants going to fire the medical staff? We've had the same staff, always lead the league in injuries. There's not much you can do. We talked about that on Patty's.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's the medical stuff. I don't know what it is.
Snake bit. It's that damn black cat.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. But every year we have a lot of injuries. So we'll start with the field and we'll go from there. It looks like they're going to change the field next year. I don't know if it's the medical staff. I don't know if it's just bad luck. I don't know what it is, but hopefully things change soon.
It's bad luck. A lot of tendons, Achilles tendons, ACLs, a lot of that, sprained MCLs. It's a lot of tendon stuff. And again, I don't know what you can do to protect the tendon unless you tell these guys to stop working out so much and stop being so muscular and putting all that. Because I've said this a million times, as a guy that does go to the gym and understands, you can't strengthen your tendons. They don't get straight. And the more pressure, the more muscle you build, the heavier the pressure is on the tendon, because muscle is very dense. And when you are constantly putting all that strain on the tendons, the way they do, the way they cut, the way they move, the way they're hit, it's constant pressure, constant all the time. That's why you see so many of these injuries. We didn't see this 30 years ago. Guys were big and strong, not like they are today.
Well, look at some of these guys today, like Quinnen Williams, for example, with the Jets. I remember I mean, I don't think he's had an injury history in the NFL, but he's just an example of a guy that's like huge, that's running 40 times this, like guys that are that big are not meant to move the way that they do in today's NFL. And yeah, I'm sure that has something to do with the injuries, right? Because you're moving a lot faster than a man that is built that way is supposed to move.
Right.
So yeah, that's not just Giant specific. That's just football in general specific.
Yeah. So again, I don't know what can be done. It's a lot of bad luck. I mean, it just is. It sucks. And hopefully the change.
I really don't think it's the medical staff. I know
I don't either.
I know like that's the easy person to look at and say that's the reason. Maybe it's part of the reason. I have no idea. Maybe it's training regimens. Maybe it's the way that they stretch. Maybe I don't know. It's probably a little bit of everything. But I don't think the medical staff is like the driving force as to why the New York Giants have had as many injuries as they've had.
Right. SB, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. He says, got accepted for my new job today. Top this week off with a win on Turkey Day. Sounds like a plan to me. Happy holidays. Well, congratulations on getting a new job. So it is.
I saw somebody in the chat. Sheepdog said, and yeah, congratulations, SB, on your job. I saw somebody in the chat say, I can't believe you guys let Evan Ingram leave. What?
Why? What's Evan Ingram doing?
I'm guessing he's probably a Cowboys fan that doesn't follow the Giants that close, or maybe another team's fan.
Maybe he's mocking Travis Kelce.
Evan Ingram was garbage as a Giant.
But maybe he's mocking Travis Kelce. He said, I can't believe they let Kadarius Toney go. And then Kadarius Toney pulled his hamstring.
Ingram this year has 352 yards with Jacksonville, so he's doing okay, I guess. But, yeah, the guy...
My fantasy league, Evan Ingram has been... we drafted Evan Ingram because I thought he might have a big year under Doug Peterson. Drafted him, dropped him. Somebody else picked him up, dropped him. Somebody else picked him up, dropped him. He ain't doing anything.
But I get it, though. If you're like an outside fan that doesn't watch the Giants, you see he made the Pro Bowl. You see he has decent statistics. But if you watch the game...
the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, he made the Pro Bowl 2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years ago. I was like, this year?
No. Well, he was a Giant 2 years ago. But if you actually watch the games, he was horrible.
Yeah, he was really bad. Not for lack of talent, lack of concentration. He just couldn't catch.
Yeah.
Welvin, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. He says, I got us losing 21-17. Hate how good the Cowgirls are. Been subbed and watching you both for years. Just never comment. Love you guys. You're awesome. Well, thank you, Welvin. We appreciate
that, Welvin. Thank you very much.
And if we can keep it that close and have a chance at the end, I'll have to live with a moral victory. I just hope that I hope we're in the game. It's really just, like I said, just give us a chance. That's all. Just give peace a chance. Just give the Giants a chance. That's it. Bodo. Cheers, my friend. Thank you so much for the generosity. I really appreciate it. He says, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Bodo, happy Thanksgiving to you. You're the man. Always incredibly generous on all sports streams that I see, my guy. Just Goto Winter should be his name. And that thumbnail is Aces, my friend.
Yeah, Bodo, man. Thank you so much for all the incredible generosity you showed both of us. And thank you for always tuning into the streams. We appreciate it. And you have a happy Thanksgiving, man.
Absolutely. And like I said, that thumbnail's tops. Hello, Clarice. Hello, Clarice. What's so funny about the way I talk? Oh, I'll be watching that 10, 15 times. I freaking love it off. I'm such a big kid. I'm such a big kid when it comes to Christmas. I'm a big kid anyway, but when it comes to Christmas, I just lose myself and go back 40 years, and I'm my son's age. And I just love watching that type of stuff.
Everyone does. Well, not everybody, but a lot of I do. I think most people do come Christmas time.
My wife bought me a couple of awesome shirts. She bought me a Heat Miser shirt because I love the Heat Miser. I don't know if anybody's ever seen The Year Without Santa Claus, where the Snow Miser and the Heat Miser battle. The Snow Miser wants everything cold and icy and snowy. And the Heat Miser's like 100 degrees. He wants everything melted and green. I'm like, yes, I am the Heat Miser. And I'm teaching my son to also hate the Snow Miser. So he does. He's always like, Daddy, it's a Heat Miser because we can go swimming. I'm like, we play outside. We can do a lot of things. But she got me a shirt that said Heat Miser, and she got me a Christmas Story shirt with Ralphie with the soap in his mouth that says, oh, fudge. Those are awesome. I told you, I married the right woman. I did a good thing there. I may not have done a lot of good things in my life. I did go with my family. I can tell you that. Christopher, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. He says, do the Jets have as many injuries as the Giants have? Just curious since we use the same field.
I don't know. I mean, well, I know. I don't know about this year. I don't think so because the Giants, I think, have the most or the second most. And I know we have the most, I think, since 2009. I don't know where the Jets rank on that list. But no, they don't have as many as ours. And I don't think it's exclusively the field. I never have. Some of it certainly probably has to do with just the types of players we draft and sign. Like Adoree Jackson had an injury history before we brought him in.
Yep.
Kenny Golladay had an injury history before we brought him in. Kadarius Toney had an injury history while he was in college. So that is some probably something to do with it too, that the Giants tend to sign guys that have injury histories, whether it be free agency or whether it be in the draft.
I know that the one big one that the Jets lost was Breece Hall. That one, that really hurt them. When they lost him, that really hurt their offense. That was he had a good chance of the offensive rookie of the year. That really hurt them. Pretty bad. Irish Rover, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Brilly. He says, tomorrow will be a very tough day. I am going to my sister-in-law's house for Thanksgiving, a house full of Cowboy fans. Oh, God. There could be some trouble. Happy Thanksgiving, Giants Nation.
Happy Thanksgiving, Rover.
You're the man, Irish. Thank you, man. We appreciate it. And hopefully you have a very happy Thanksgiving. You can laugh in all their faces. Hopefully you're not walking out of there with your head down.
That's got to be torture, man. Like if the Giants end up losing tomorrow, being in a house full of Cowboy fans.
That's even if they just being around a house full of Cowboy fans, that's to be horrible. That's already you're walking in there. You're already walking in with an L. I mean, that's a rough day. Even if the Cowboys weren't playing the Giants, it's a rough day. Yeah, a house of Cowboy fans. The only thing worse than that may be a house of Eagle fans. That'd be tough too.
Have a happy Thanksgiving, though, Rover.
Absolutely. Ryan says, I'm going to the game tomorrow. First time ever going to be a long one. Hey, that's awesome, Ryan.
Enjoy the game, man.
Enjoy it, man. One place I'd probably like to go before I die is AT&T Stadium just to check it out. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how good Dallas is as a city. I've heard mixed reviews, but you know, I probably wouldn't mind going to Dallas. You won't catch me in Philadelphia. That'll probably never happen. But Dallas, maybe.
Their stadium looks awesome.
It really does. Their stadium does look pretty amazing. Is there any way we can get pressure on Dak Prescott? Is there? I mean, I had a hot take in Patricia's stream earlier. I said Kayvon Thibodeau was getting 2 sacks. I'm hopeful. And again, hot takes are things. It's not like a hot take. Single Marcus got him 10 carries. Like a hot take is something that is really a long shot. Is pretty much. But is there any way? Like Chris? How do we generate a pass rush, especially if we're scared to blitz because our secondary's beat up? Is there any way?
Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams are going to have to do it. They're going to have to eat up at the line of scrimmage, similar to the way that Leonard Williams was able to do it against Seattle when we played Russell Wilson a few years ago. I don't think we're going to blitz. So I think I'm sure we'll blitz at times, but I don't think we're going to be as aggressive as we've been in the past. So if we're going to generate a pass rush, it's going to be, I think, those guys. It's going to be Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence getting interior pressure.
Yep.
That's my guess. I mean, maybe not. Maybe I'll be wrong, but if we're going to, I think it's going to be those two.
That's where we had to. Bodo, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Brilly. Okay, dog, how much money do I have to bribe you to eventually wear my jersey? You know I'm a narcissist. Troglodyte, please placate me. I can't wear it tomorrow. I mean, it's a Steelers jersey. It does say Bodo on the back, and it is Mel Blunt's number, who is a legendary. I'll tell you what, Bodo. Friday, yes, I have to do the Lakers on Friday. I will wear it Friday. I promise. It is hanging in my closet upstairs, so I know right where it is. It ended up in all my the Bodo winter jersey ended up in all my nice the polos that I wear for work. So I know right where it is. Friday, my man, you got it. I'll put that on. I'll put that on for Lakers Spurs. We'll put the Bodo jersey on.
Did the Lakers win last night?
No, they were down at double digits a couple of times. They came back to take the lead once. They got really close. But at the end, Phoenix shot like 47% from three. Anthony Davis had a ridiculous game, 37 points, 21 boards. They played them tough. They didn't win in the end. The Lakers, they're playing a lot better, but they're a ways away. But the guys are getting a little bit better. So C. Barkley, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. He says, hey, Baddog, what moves do you think we make this offseason? The Knicks ice cream is banging. Thanks. Yeah. Another satisfied Knicks. I'm telling you guys and girls, you have to get this Knicks ice cream. I'm not BSing, right? I maintain 7% body fat. How? When I eat a pint of that every night, because it's low calorie, low fat. It is a fourth of the calories, a fourth of the fat, a fourth of the carbs of a normal ice cream. 3 times the protein, 20 times the fiber. There's a lot of fiber in this ice cream, so it fills you up. But you can eat a whole pint of that. And I'm telling you, I've never had a bad flavor of it. And guys like C. Barkley, I'm telling you, every time someone tries Knicks, they're like, it's amazing. Knicks.com, links in the description below. You can go there. You can buy your ice cream from there, or you just put in your zip code where it says shop. It shows you the closest stores. Get the stuff. It's amazing. I'm telling you. But thank you, C. Barkley. And what moves we make this offseason? Offensive line and wide receiver. They have to be number one. First and foremost, interior O-line, wide receiver.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be. I know fans like look at the cap space and they're like, oh my God, we're going to have $60 million to spend or whatever.
Probably 50, but yes.
We're not even going to have that though, because we're going to retain a lot of players that are on the current roster. So I don't expect the Giants to go out there and spend big bucks in free agency. They may sign a nice little piece here and there, but don't expect them to be at the top of the market in terms of like high price free agents. I just don't see that. I've looked at the wide receiver market. There's a couple of guys that I think make sense because they're former Chiefs. And obviously we have, a Chiefs influence in terms of our play caller. You would think that they'd fit the scheme relatively well. So a guy like Juju Smith-Schuster, for example, he's still only 26. I don't know what his market would be. He's a possibility. I know McCole Hardman also from the Chiefs is a free agent. And I think
I like him a lot.
You like Hardman?
McCole Hardman, yeah. He's fast as hell.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Poor man's Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, so that I could see him being a fit maybe. And then I think there was one of the other Chiefs receiver. Let me take a quick look. I'm looking at
Travis Kelce. No.
But that's who I could see, like guys like that, like cost-effective receivers. I guess those are the two: Juju, Hardman. Yeah, I think I could see them, if their market wasn't ridiculous, I could see the Giants trying to sign a player like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're going to have to find something.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. And again, we're going to draft. We're going to address some of those players in the draft too. We'll definitely address those positions in the draft, as well as a cornerback. We're going to need a corner too. Corner, I would say interior O-line first.
Yeah.
But depending on who's there, this is a really deep wide receiver class. So there's some really good wide receivers that we can end up with first. And then maybe you address maybe Shane and Dable, maybe Shane and Brandon Brown. Maybe they take some of those extra draft picks. They get back up into the first round and can get an offensive interior lineman late in the first round. I have faith in these guys. These guys, they did their job in Buffalo. They were always good at finding talent late. So I have confidence in these guys. This is their real first draft for the Giant, where it's their scouts. They know it's their team. They know what this team needs, because when they were scouting with Buffalo and Brandon Brown scouting with Philadelphia, they don't know they're looking at players for the Giants. They're looking at holes in Buffalo and they're looking at holes in Philadelphia and thinking, we got to get this. We got to look at, they're focusing on that. Now they have a year where they're focusing on what they need with the Giants. So,
I saw Rio say it in the other stream too. He says Brandon Ayuk, but I just looked it up. Ayuk's under contract next year. So he's not a free agent. He's under contract for one more year with the Niners. And I don't know why the Niners would ever let him walk. And I know they have money where they got to spend, I suppose, in other areas. But if he were to hit the market, Brandon Ayuk would get a ridiculous contract. Like you saw what Christian Kirk got. He got $19 million a year. Ayuk's ridiculous. If you watch the 49ers, he may not have the most gaudy stats because they have so many weapons over there. But if he ever hit the market, he's going to get over $20 million a year. He's going to be an expensive wide receiver if the Niners let him go.
The number one receivers are all a ton of money.
Yeah, and he's real. And Brandon Ayuk's he's really good.
Yes, he is. Robbie, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Galladay is big tomorrow. Better start over Hodgins. Oh, I think Galladay will start.
Yeah.
We're going to need him. Like I said, the one good thing that came out of the game against Detroit is he was only targeted twice. He caught them both.
Yeah.
And that was big. Benjamin, what can I say, man? Thank you so much, brother. Cheers. Thank you for the incredible generosity, man. Really appreciate this. I've watched both your channels since even before I was legally able to drink. It's crazy. Benjamin, I think he was 19. Says, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. By this time tomorrow, I'll be stuffed with turkey, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, which we were talking with Patricia, and I'm a big mac and cheese fan.
Can't go wrong with mac and cheese.
Pumpkin pie. That's good stuff, too. I have the pecan. Anybody that follows me on Instagram sees I got a massive pecan pie for Saturday. I'm eating half of that thing. I'll be in a diabetic coma by the late college games. That is my plan. Having pizza for lunch. That's my plan, too, because we were talking about pizza, Chris. Now I want pizza for lunch. We're talking about going to Delmonico's for dinner, but I don't know because I'm going to have a plate of Thanksgiving. I know what I'm doing. All I know is I can't wait for Saturday. Thank you. Benjamin, he says, I still love Bad Dog's strip club story. That was a good one. And Tainah getting slapped by his ex.
I don't love that story, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you always tuning into the streams, Benjamin.
Yeah, that's how long Benjamin's been around. Because that probably goes back to the nonsense streams that we used to do years ago. Yeah, it's not like the strip club story was it's not like that was a great one either. It's certainly one of not one of my highlights in my life, but you live and you learn. John, thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate it. He says, sorry if you guys already covered this question. Do you know why Landon Collins isn't playing? He is great first run and isn't worse than our linebackers in coverage. Yes, we did mention it earlier. So we were talking to Patricia Trainer. She said money had a lot to do with them bringing him up from the practice squad, and they didn't really want to kind of blow their wad because he's a veteran. He makes like the most money probably down there. And if they bring him up, they got to pay him. And they've been playing him at inside linebacker. And she felt that the Giants have more of a need on their offensive line and in the wide receiver core right now to bring players up and address those positions. And they've been playing Micah McFadden at the inside linebacker. So that's why he's not up. And like I said, she would know more than she works with the team. So she would definitely know why. Because I asked her the same question. So,
and let's be honest, he's not that good.
No,
like there's a reason that the Giants were able to sign him for next to nothing, and nobody else in the league signed him. I know people love Landon Collins, and he was great at one point for the Giants, but there's a reason that nobody had him signed. There's a reason that he's on the practice squad right now. But she said that it was a money reason more than anything else.
Pumpkin pie. Formerly apple pie. Thank you for super chat, but that is a fantastic name. And a lot of people probably don't know a lot of people probably do, but maybe some people don't know why that's pumpkin pie because math geeks like me know that 3.14 is pi.
Of course.
So pumpkin 3.14 is pumpkin pie. He changed it for the holidays. It was apple pie. He says, good luck tomorrow. Go Cowboys. Are you doing the game tomorrow? Yes, we will be doing the game pumpkin pie. 4:00 this channel. Good, bad, or ugly. For the Giants, we will be here hanging out with the best chat on YouTube. So
let's go.
After you guys have eaten your food, and like I said, you just want to sit back, relax, and let the tryptophan do its thing, hang out with Chris and the Bad Dog.
Let's go.
JJ, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. This is going to be a tough game. 10 days to get healthy, and OBJ. We're not going to get Odell Beckham.
Yeah, I know Giants fans they live in this world where they think we're going to get him, and maybe we will, but let me ask you this, Bad Dog. What would be more shocking for you? Us beating the Cowboys tomorrow or us getting OBJ?
Us beating the Cowboys tomorrow.
I would say us getting OBJ. I think there's a higher percentage we'll beat, and I don't think we're beating the Cowboys. I'm picking the Cowboys to destroy us. I think there's a higher chance we beat the Cowboys tomorrow than OBJ signing with the New York Giants. Because I think
we beat the Cowboys tomorrow. Odell Beckham might be like, well, the Giants have a better chance.
I think Odell Beckham signing with the Giants is, if it's not 0%, it's this close to 0%.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming.
We
can't give him money. We can't give him money. And I don't want. Listen, I love Odell Beckham. We're not in a position to take Odell Beckham. Just draft a wide receiver that's 22 years old, 21, and gets rookie money, $5 million a year.
Yeah,
21. Bring Odell Beckham back here in 2 years when his 2-year, $28 million deal or 2-year, $26 million deal is up with Dallas. Bring him back here in 2024 when we're where the Rams are and we're competing for a Super Bowl. That's right. 2024 Super Bowl contender, New York Giants. That's when you bring him back here.
Why not?
That's when he comes back here. Diego, thank you, my friend from Mexico. Appreciate you. He says, let's go, guys. Cristiano Ronaldo plays tomorrow. Yes.
I've actually been watching a little bit of the World Cup. There's been some mega upsets. Japan beat Germany, I think it was today.
That is a big upset.
That was a huge one. And then there was what's the other powerhouse that lost? There was another. Oh, Argentina lost to like Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's been a couple.
I don't know much about the World Cup, but yeah, you don't. When you think of Saudi Arabia and Japan, you're not thinking soccer.
Germany and Argentina, two powerhouses, went down to those two teams.
Crazy.
US is playing England on Friday.
Yeah. Well, I'm off Friday, so I'll be able to watch that. But I know, like, they played Wales at 1:00 in the afternoon on Monday, and I'm like, I can't watch that. I'm working, L.A. Lou, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate you. He says, what players do you solve or do you move on from, and what players do you keep and invest in? For the O-line, do you bring in a stabilizing vet or do you draft? And where on the O-line do you make moves, center and guard? You can take that one first, Chris.
What players do you solve?
What players do you move on from?
Move on from. Yeah. What players do you keep and invest in? If I was the GM, L.A. Lou, and again, this could change because we still got 7 games to go. My opinion may change to these players if they get hurt, how they play throughout the rest of the year. If I was the GM, like I've said all along, I'm bringing Jones back on a contract that I could get out after 1 year, but I'm bringing him back. He's either going to be my bridge or he's going to be a guy that grows further and I give a longer commitment to, but he's my bridge. I'm not taking a quarterback in the draft this year. I bring Jones back on a bridge contract. I bring Barkley back on a 3-year commitment contract, provided he stays healthy for the rest of the year. I keep Julian Love. I extend Dexter Lawrence. I extend Andrew Thomas. I extend Leonard Williams. I spread out the money on those contracts to make it work long-term and to free up some cap space, because by extending Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams, you could probably free up some cap space for next year's cap to retain some of these players. And I'm pretty confident that Joe Shane's going to be able to do this in a much better way in which Dave Gettleman was able to do. But that's what I would do. I would keep some of the good young core intact. And then in terms of the offensive line, I would prefer to draft them. I would prefer to draft interior offensive line, if not in the late first round, definitely the second round, and maybe make a signing. But I don't think we're going to have a ton of money to get an impact offensive lineman in free agency. So I'd probably just prefer to address it in the draft.
Yeah, definitely center and guard. We need to build our book and tackles are going to be great. Andrew Thomas already is great. I think Evan Neal will be. But we definitely need help on the interior offensive line. And I've said this before, L.A. Lou, I think they're moving on from Slayton is the one guy that I think could come back here. Wan'Dale Robinson will be back, but he won't be starting because he just tore his ACL. But I really think you're going to see an entirely different wide receiver. I think Slayton may come back. Somebody may offer Slayton more money than we're willing to give him. He's got a chance to come back here, depending on how much he's looking for. Wan'Dale will be back. But the rest of them, Sills, Richie, James, Kenny Galladay, Sterling Shepard, they're probably all going to be gone. I'm moving on from all those wide receivers, and I love Shep, but he can't stay healthy, and he's closing in on 30, and it's hard to give a guy money that's coming off torn Achilles. He's had concussion issues. He's had a lot, unfortunately. But those are the big things. But yeah, I think you got to keep Daniel Jones. I don't think you want to address a quarterback. Because even so, if you draft the quarterback, you're putting him in a really bad spot.
Because a lot of people still want to take a quarterback, and I'm not ruling it out. Like if Joe Shane loves a quarterback, he may do it. I'm not ruling it out. But for the people that are hammering home, we need to take a quarterback. You're not going to stay at 20 and take a quarterback. You're going to have to trade up and do it, because every team there's so many teams in this draft that need a quarterback that are going to be picking ahead of us, especially if we make the playoffs. So you're going to probably have to trade your second round pick this year, potentially a future first round pick, how high you may trade up, and your first round pick this year. And then that quarterback is going to come into a situation where he's got very little help at the wide receiver, because you're not going to be able to draft the first round wide receiver because you're going to use it on the quarterback. And he's going to have a shoddy offensive line. So I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to use Jones as the bridge. And I think they're going to keep building up the rest of this team next year, whether it be signing a free agent wide receiver, trading for a wide receiver. And I would be surprised next year if we have 4 picks inside the first 3 rounds, because we made the trade, obviously, for Tony. So now we have 2 third-round picks. I think one of those third-round picks are going to be on an interior offensive lineman, and I think one of our first 2 picks are going to be on an interior offensive lineman. I think we're going to use 2 of our first 4 picks on the interior, whether it be center or guard.
I agree. Got to.
Yeah.
That has to be done. Our offense is definitely very far behind the defense.
Yeah.
In my opinion, and we definitely have to do that. Coda Trout, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. He says, Tainah getting slapped by his ex. That's unsportsmanlike conduct, penalty 15 yards, and must have counted towards her disqualification. Right, she got ejected for targeting.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell the story again, but yes, it was a funny story, but yeah, I got slapped by. I got caught checking out another girl at a bar, so she gave me a slap across the face.
So Chris was being a human.
I was being a man. I was being a male. Didn't say anything to the girl. My jaw dropped. I definitely got caught with the obvious look. I was like, I had the mouth wide open.
Wow, that's a little excessive.
But listen, hot girl,
I know, I get it.
I didn't think she was looking at me. She's with her friends. I'm with a guy.
They always see.
And
they always know.
And then I get the slap across the face, and not only that, the girl, she was a singer. She was on the stage, and then she goes to the bar after the fact to get a drink after she was done with her set, and we were getting ready to leave, and my girlfriend at the time grabs me by my hand, and I think, I'm like, all right, she's not mad at me anymore, and she drags me over the bar, and she brings me right next to the girl that she caught me staring at, and says, "Hi, this is my ex-boyfriend, Chris. You two should get to know each other." And that was that. But right then I should have left her. But I did talk to the girl for about 2 minutes. I should have got her number, but I didn't.
Wow. I can tell you one story. Now, I didn't get slapped, but I mean, I've been married a long time. And I told you, I live in Saratoga County. So the track is very popular up here in Saratoga. Popular people, famous people go to Saratoga for the flat track. It's a very popular thing up here in the summer. Saratoga blows up in the summer. And yeah, I remember I was with my wife. My wife she was a few steps behind me, maybe they're sisters or something. And the same thing, like there was these girls walking towards me. They had the sundresses on, and they're good looking girls. I mean, what can you do? And I did this, right? So they're walking by me, and I just kind of followed my eyes. I turned my head, and as soon as I get over here, my wife I'm like, shoot, she caught me, she's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, what? I try to blame what? She goes, yeah, I saw you. I go, what are you talking about? She goes, yeah, I saw you looking. I go, I thought I knew her. She looked familiar.
Yeah, sure you did.
I did it. I did it. Yeah, I was in the doghouse for a little bit for that one, but yeah, typical guy crap. Right. Eli, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. He says, we need Eli and 60 Cent to drop a mixtape. We might need 60 Cent.
Who's tomorrow. 60? I know 50 Cent. Who's 60 Cent?
Who knows? But he's better than 50 cents because 60 cents is better than 50 cents, right? Oh, my God. Hey, Cloud, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, my friend. Brilly says, go Bills. And pulling for your Giants tomorrow as well. Thank you. We appreciate that. I'm always pulling for the Bills. They're a New York team.
I don't hate the Bills.
They're not our rival. I love Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Listen, though, Stephon Diggs cannot have a good game tomorrow. That can't. He needs to have an off game. Maybe hemorrhoids.
I'm versing him in fantasy too, actually.
Yeah, I don't like this. Me and my buddy on the team were 8-3, best record in the league, tied with another guy. His name's Andy. Also 8-3, best record in the league. We play each other. We play in the same division. There's 3 games left to go. He has Diggs. He needs everybody. He has Diggs, Williams, and Devin Singletary all in that game. And then he has Adam Thielen and TJ Hawkinson in the night game. I need all of them to have enough. The Bills can win. The Bills, I got no problem winning. Throw it to somebody else, though.
You want to hear how desperate I am in my 2 quarterback fantasy football league? I'm starting 2 quarterbacks to play tomorrow. Neither of them are Josh Allen. Let's go over the quarterbacks that are playing tomorrow. Dak Prescott, Josh Allen. Neither of them are them.
Kirk Cousins?
Is he playing tomorrow?
Yeah, they play at night.
Oh, I don't have him. I've got Jared Goff and Daniel Jones.
Jones might get you some running yards.
No, Jones is actually been pretty good.
And listen, Goff is going to have to throw because they're going to be behind.
Yeah. Jones has actually been good. Jones has been pretty good in fantasy this year.
Yeah, that's not as bad.
I think he's ranked 12. He's ranked 12.
My quarterbacks this week, well, Joe Burrow, he's a good one, and Taylor Heineke. Now, I've had Davis Mills. Davis Mills got benched. Had Jameis Winston in the beginning of the year. He also got benched. The guy we're playing against, he picked up Sam Darnold. I'm like, why are you picking up Sam Darnold? I'm like, please play Sam Darnold. Please.
Yeah.
Here's Justin Fields and who the hell's his other quarterback? Lamar Jackson. I'm like, can you please put Sam Darnold in for one of those two guys?
Maybe just picked him up as insurance in case one of those guys.
I don't know, but please play him. Even if you're not playing against us, play him because we want to beat that guy for the division. David's a beastly. Thank you, my friend. He says, if Lamar was available, would you pay him the bag?
He's not going to be available.
I don't think we could pay him the bag.
We probably could if we wanted to, but to me, that's just a silly. I don't want to use silly, but there's no way. There is no way that Baltimore is going to let him walk.
That would be silly.
It's just a matter of guaranteed money, but he'd be silly to leave. They've built their whole offense around him, so I just don't see it happening. He's going back there.
I see Bodo down here says, damn it, Chris, that sounds like my ex-wife. Every time I accidentally looked at a woman, she would accuse me of sleeping with her. That's just women in general.
Yeah.
And I always kind of laugh. I'm like, you can't tell me that you've never looked at another guy. You're lying. You're human. Just because you're married or just because you've ordered doesn't mean you can't look at the menu.
I see Cedric say, Chris, you should look at getting Deshaun Watson. Maybe he means in comparison to Lamar Jackson. That's apples and oranges. Deshaun Watson was only available because of what he did off the field. Lamar Jackson hasn't done anything like that. Had Deshaun Watson not had anything like that off the field, he'd still be a Houston Texan. There's no way they would let him go.
Yeah. Oh, hell no.
Yeah. So that's apples and oranges. Yeah. If Lamar Jackson gets accused of sexual assault between 22 different women, then the Giants might be able to sign him.
Yeah. What was going on there? Was Deshaun Watson hanging out with Bill Cosby?
Yeah, I don't know. But there's no way. There's no way. You tell me a time in the history of the NFL where a team has let a quarterback go that is a former MVP award winner at the age of 26, a top 10 quarterback, top 8, top 6, top whatever you want to call him. It's not happening. No, it's not going to happen.
You can't replace him.
It's not going to happen.
Bodo, my friend, I still love that thumbnail. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, my friend. He says, I got to say thank you to Argentina and Germany for getting the races kicked in cost to me. For getting the races kicked in cost me hundreds of dollars. I guess I've learned a lesson. I will never bet on a team in the World Cup. Sounds like me betting NFL football. Not hundreds, though. I don't have hundreds. I have to bet on football, but
yeah,
I lost again in college football this weekend. Man, I've had a bad month of November betting college football.
You're saying for my fantasy, Cedric? Yeah, I mean, I don't think. I don't think the guy in my league is going to be looking to trade Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, somebody in my league drafted Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun. Yeah, Deshaun Watson's rostered. He was drafted in my league.
Yeah, because we have a keeper league, so there's
same thing. It's a keeper league.
Yeah. Diego, thank you, my friend, again from Mexico. Thank you so much. He says, I'm praying Joey Porter Jr. falls, and we get him.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I want that dude from Ohio State. I want that receiver.
The guy that starts with an N. I forgot his. I don't.
Yeah, I don't remember how to pronounce his name, but I want that guy.
Bequay? No, it's not. It's not Bequay. I forgot how to pronounce.
You know what I'm talking about. He's got. The
yes, I do. It's like NGEB. I forgot what it is.
I want him. Or I want the kid from Tennessee.
Jalen Hyatt, yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
I like the kid from TCU. I like Jordan Addison. Like I said, USC, Ohio State, they got some good wide receivers.
But the best wide receiver in the country right now is
Marvin
sophomore.
Harrison Jr.
Yep. He's a sophomore, but he's the best
best quarterback in the country. Also sophomore.
Yeah. USC. But Marvin Harrison, oh my God.
Yeah,
that guy, I every time I watch an Ohio State game, some of the catches that guy makes and his footwork, his ability to get his feet down with some of these dude.
That catch he made where he was like out of bounds and down.
Yeah, he had
the body control.
Yeah, so like basically, I think what happened on that play, if I recall, the defender hit his closer his foot that was so basically if he's up in the air and the sidelines to his left. You would think he's going to try to use his right foot to touch down on the ground, and the defender hit his right foot, and he had the wherewithal to bend back his left foot and get it in the field of play.
Yeah.
Like he's ridiculous. He's such a polished wide receiver.
Yeah. That it is unbelievable. The body control
Yeah.
that he was able to exhibit there. And yeah, man, there's definitely some good receivers. He's
He's the
obviously
best one. I think he's the best one in the
and
country.
I think Caleb Williams is the best, but I said that last year. So I love Caleb Williams. And there are some good college football games, man. I'm telling you, Saturday, like I said, it's my cheat day. I'm going to sit down at noon after I eat my breakfast, and I'm just going to put that pecan pie right on that table in front of me. And I'm just going to take a fork and I'm just going to eat it while I watch Ohio State, Michigan, USC, and Notre Dame. There's definitely some good games Saturday. And there were some really good games last week, man. That Oregon Utah game was really good. Oh God, there was another one.
The UCLA USC game.
That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
That game.
It was like a basketball score.
That was unbelievable.
And I see LA Lou wrote DTR. I don't know how he's graded as a pro prospect, the quarterback for UCLA.
He's a fifth-year senior.
He's a good college quarterback. I don't know if he's a good pro prospect, but he's a good college quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, he's okay. Again, that's a Chip Kelly thing, so
yeah. I don't think he's graded out as a great pro prospect.
I'm telling you, the one I like the best is Michael Penix. That's probably my favorite quarterback in this year's draft class. And I know everybody's like, oh, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Will Levis. I don't like Will Levis. I'm sorry.
I don't hate Will Levis. I don't want to draft him, but I could see why people like him. But yeah, let's put it this way. I'm not willing to trade up for any of the quarterbacks in this year's draft class for what it would cost for the Giants to move up.
No. Depending on how far you have to trade up.
Yeah.
If you had to trade up to 16, if you were drafted 21st, you had to trade up to 16. Yeah. But if you have to get into the top 10, no.
Yeah.
No. But I love Michael Penix. And I've said this a few times. If you guys have not watched Michael Penix for Washington play, just watch him. I don't know what, because he's a lefty. It's just the zip on those throws and that tight spiral, and he's athletic. And I just really like Michael Penix. And ever since he left Indiana, Indiana has sucked. Indiana was really good when he was there.
Yeah.
But I really like Michael Penix. Cruz on, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. See there. Well, I didn't even read that, but he doesn't like CJ Stroud either. He's okay, but I'm not a huge fan. He says these 2023 quarterbacks coming out are not good. CJ Stroud is awful when pressured. Give DJ number one receiver an interior offensive line. He's played well. I agree with that. We're not drafting a quarterback.
I don't want to draft. We might, but I don't want to. I agree with Cruz on that. And I was a bigger fan of CJ Stroud than I am now. During the offseason, I started looking at a lot of these quarterbacks because obviously I thought there was a high probability we could be taking one. I still think there's a possibility we could, and I'll continue to look at them, but not as high as I thought before the year started. And I liked a lot of the things that I saw with CJ Stroud. He looked really polished. He looked like he had really good footwork. CJ Stroud doesn't have a great arm. Like, he's got a good arm, but he played a game, I think it was against Penn State. I can't recall. And the winds were really bad. Northwestern. He couldn't throw through the wind to save his life.
He couldn't. Ohio State, the fans make an excuse. Oh, the weather's bad. He can't play in bad weather.
You got to play in that type of weather in New York. The winds are strong. We know that. So I like Stroud, but I don't think he's like this incredible prospect.
I think Bryce Young regressed this year as well.
Yeah. I like Young. I think Young's really smart. I think he's a smart quarterback, but I'm not in love with him.
Yeah. I'm telling you, my favorite guy, and he might not be the most talented kid coming, is Michael Penix. I really like Michael Penix. LeCap James. Great name. Thank you for the super chat. Chris, bring me with you next time. I got you.
Let's go, LeCap. All right, man.
Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Chicago. Ride, Saquon, ride. Have faith, fellas.
Man, if we can run the ball, we got a chance.
Yes.
It's going to be hard, but if we can, we got a chance.
We win the turnover battle, we got a chance.
Yeah, we got to control the clock. We're
going to play Giants football tomorrow. We got a chance, right? Yeah. Giants football consists of low-scoring games, boring offense, converting on third downs, winning the turnover battle, making the plays that are there to be made. Bend but don't break defense.
If we could
if we can hold Dallas under 24 points, which is very much easier said than done, we have a chance. That's my take. If we can find a way to hold Dallas to 20, 21, 23, we will have a chance. If Dallas scores 24 by halftime, we're in deep trouble.
Yeah.
We have to be in this game. We can't get behind and become a one-dimensional team because we're not built. We're not built to come from behind. You know.
The only way we keep them under 24 points, I see William Burney laughing. Listen, it's keeping you guys off the field. It's controlling the pace of play. We kept the New England Patriots to 14 points in the Super Bowl, the greatest offense of all time, because we possess the ball. It's keeping your offense off the field. That's our best defense tomorrow. Yeah. I don't think we're going to be able to do it. It's why I'm picking the Cowboys to win. But if we're going to have a chance, we're going to win the TOP by 6 or 7 minutes, and we're going to keep them off the field. We're going to have long, sustaining drives, and we're going to keep the game in the low to mid-20s. That's how the Giants will win this game if they win it.
Well, first and foremost, I never said that they were going to do that. I said if we're going to win, that was what we needed to do. The other thing is, I like that he laughed because I remember Plaxico Burress saying the Giants are going to win 21-17, and Tom Brady said they're going to hold us 17 points. Okay. Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah, I remember that too. I also remember that's my teammate, man. That's my quarterback. I remember that too. Got no chance to win that. Giants ain't stopping Dallas. I'm not saying we're going to hold you under 24. I'm saying if we want to win.
I'm picking Dallas to win by double digits.
I picked Dallas to win 27-17. And we get a cheap touchdown to make it 27-17. So, no, I don't think we're winning this game. I'm not going to sit here and go up playing the Giants on a money line. No. But if that's the way we're going to win, we're not going to outscore you 34-31. So if we want to win, got to hold you under 24. You get to 30, you're going to kick our ass. Really that simple.
Yeah, we can't get into a shootout. You know, for all the Giants fans that wanted to get into a shootout, you saw what happened last week. Sure, Daniel Jones had good passing yards, threw for 350 yards. This team can't play that way and win football games.
I see Roger Monroe. He says, Baddog, I'm 79 years old. Please beat Dallas. I'm actually an Eagles fan. Well, Roger, God bless you, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving. I don't like the Eagles, but I love that the Eagle fans are rooting for us because I know they hate Dallas. We can all agree Dallas bites. Every team that's the great thing about this is this. With the Eagles, the hatred is real within the division. I hate the Eagles. Dallas hates the Eagles. Washington hates the Eagles. That's real. In the division, people hate the Giants. We hate each other within the division.
Yeah.
When you get outside the division, Lions fans don't hate the Giants or the Eagles or the Commanders. 49er fans don't hate us. They still might be upset about it.
I think most fan bases hate the Cowboys, though.
But that's what I'm saying. But everybody hates Dallas.
Yeah. Dallas is the, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear this because most Giant fans are Yankee fans, but I think you guys like being hated. It's why you called the evil empire, emperor, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys are the Yankees of the NFL.
Oh, they absolutely. And the Lakers are the Yankees and Cowboys of the NBA.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
When you're the most popular teams, you get hated on the most. Just what it is. And there's a lot of Laker, Cowboy, Yankee fans.
I wonder why.
They're just covering all parts of the United States.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Door Gunner, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. He says, Happy Thanksgiving. Glad that both the Giants and my Commanders are playing meaningful games late in the year. NFC East is back. You're right. And Door Gunner, we have a massive game December 4, sorry.
Yeah, we do.
That is
those two games are basically playoff games for both of our teams.
Yes.
I see Jeff L. I think this would be a horrible idea. He says if we're in play for Jimmy G in the offseason, that would be exciting. First off, let me say this. I was talking to my friend who's a 49er fan. My best friend who's a diehard 49er fan. And I think Jimmy Garoppolo is one of the most underrated quarterbacks of my lifetime. And I'm not saying he's great. I don't think he's elite. But people just crap on the guy. Like, people just laugh about the guy. They mock the guy. Jimmy Garoppolo, to me, is in the same class as Dak Prescott. He's in the same class as Kirk Cousins. I don't care about this, but the guy went to an NFC title game. He went to a Super Bowl, and the guy wins games, and when he doesn't play, they lose. Look at the stats when he plays and when he doesn't for the San Francisco 49ers. So I do think Jimmy Garoppolo is a winning quarterback. He's a good quarterback.
Alex Smith is. He's like.
But I would want nothing to do with Jimmy Garoppolo because I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen, Bad Dog. I'm a big believer in this 49ers team. I picked them to go to the Super Bowl before the year started. I still think they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I think they're the most talented team in the NFC. 49ers this year, if they go to the Super Bowl and potentially win the Super Bowl, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to get a ridiculous contract. He's going to get like 3 years, $110 million. I mean, because look at it. The guy went to 2 Super Bowls, won a Super Bowl. He helped that 49ers team come from obscurity after Trey Lance went down with the injury. Somebody's going to overpay for him, and I do not want to be the team that pays Jimmy Garoppolo that kind of money. Let the
You
Jets
mentioned it. The Jets.
The Jets are going to do it. Because the Jets have their former the Jets offense coordinator came from the 49ers. Saleh came from the 49ers. It just makes sense. And I do think they're going to be in the market to sign a quarterback. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be a Jet.
Yep. Adam, thank you for the super chat. What about, real quick, what about Derek Carr? Would Derek Carr be a Jet?
Yeah, one of those two. I think I said on Twitter I predicted Carr, but then after I thought about it and people brought it up to me, Garoppolo made more sense. But I think one of those two is going to be a Jet next year.
Yeah. Adam, thank you, my friend. Double A, he says the only way I see us victorious tomorrow, considering injuries and weaknesses, is if our D-line can pressure a lot. 26-8, both run their asses off and no penalties. Slayton takes one to the house, too. Yeah, Adam, we're going to need a perfect storm to beat them. Need a perfect storm.
Yeah, listen, we got to play our A game. They got to play their C game if we're going to have a chance.
Yeah, it's tough. If we were completely healthy, this was going to be a tough one. Dallas is a good team. I hate Dallas. They're a very talented, very well-balanced team. The thing where they may not be great, I don't really like their head coach. I really don't like Mike McCarthy. I really don't like him. That's just me, but I really don't like him. By the way, where are we on the numbers? Hit that thumbs up if you guys haven't done so. Please hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Ring the bell. More importantly, make sure you go into the description. Link for the entertainers there. Sub him up. Man, let's get him to 50,000 subscribers so he has to do a 24-hour stream. Listen, when you get there and you do the 24-hour stream, if you need me to swing by, because I got you.
I'm going to need a lot of Red Bulls. I know that.
I got you.
I'm going to need about a 12-pack of Red Bulls for that stream.
Yeah, 12-pack of Red Bull. Don't drink any alcohol. It tires you out.
Yeah.
I'll give you all the tips. Get you a pizza. It's good stuff because pizza lasts.
Yeah.
You get a big 20, whatever it is, 18-inch pizza, 12-cup pizza. Whatever. Get one of those because you can eat it throughout the evening. It doesn't go bad. It's carbs, right?
Yeah.
Gives you energy. So you need that. Coffee.
Yeah.
Or,
definitely coffee.
So, don't start counting your pee breaks because coffee makes you pee.
I'll bring the coffee machine right down next to me.
You perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll get you through it. L.A. Lou, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. He says you need to top stack the box. If they run on you, they will win. Make Dak beat you and make him do it from the bench.
Normally, I would agree with you, Lou. This week, I don't. Normally, I would agree with you. This week, I don't.
Lou, if our secondary was healthy, we could agree with that.
Yeah, with the corners that we have, I think you got to play off. You got to give them 20-20 and then try to hold strong in the red zone and hope that they make some mistakes along the way. You got to make them work for their points.
Yeah, we're down to our 4th string corners.
Yeah.
And we have no safeties on top. Yeah. So, like I said, Lou, if we're going to be
maybe you tip a ball, maybe you get lucky, you create a turnover.
Right? We have to make them earn their touchdowns. We can't have a 2-play. We can't let them have big plays over the top. Chris mentioned it's going to be frustrating. We have to play the Patrick Graham type defense, which frustrated me. That soft zone, I hate that, but they have to keep the plays in front of them. They have to. Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams are going to have to just blow up. They're going to have to find a way to penetrate, push that line back, and maybe stop the run themselves. But I don't think you can stack the box. I don't think we can afford to play man coverage going against guys like CeeDee Lamb. I think we'll get torched. And same thing of blitzing. Like Dallas is a really good offensive line. We haven't really gotten there with the blitz the entire year. Zeke is really good at picking up the blitz. I don't want to leave our corners on an island. If Dallas is going to score, make them go 10 to 15 plays and do it. And maybe when they get inside the red zone and everything clamps up, then you can kind of stack the box and try to hold them to 3. But it's not an optimal situation either way.
It's a bad choice either way. But we're at a tremendous disadvantage with the way our defense is right now. And I think that's, if I was the DC, that would be the way that I would approach this game.
Yeah. G-Men 7 says DeMarcus Lawrence versus Matt Parrott. Enough said. Was it Parrott or were they thinking of somebody else over there too? Either way, it's not good.
Either way, whether it's Phillips or whether it's Parrott, it's not good.
Yeah. So Christie says, "Oh yeah, the refs hate us." Well, it's got nothing to do with the officials.
Listen, the refs weren't good last week, but at the end of the day, and I saw a lot of people complain about that on Twitter, and they're right to a certain extent. There were definitely a lot of questionable calls at points in that game. We turned them over 3 times. We didn't create 1 turnover.
Right.
Giants aren't going to win games. I don't care about the refs. I don't care about if the Giants turn the ball over 3 times. If we lose the turnover battle, whether it's 1-0, 3-0, this team is not good enough to win a football game in terms of talent. So that's why we lost the football game.
Right.
We turned them over 3 times. We didn't create any.
Gotcha.
So.
Well, we got a couple. Amazing guy says Giants 19-14. I wish we could hold them to 14 points. Anthony Phillips says 17-13 Giants.
I hope you guys are right, man.
Yeah. Aziz is not playing, guys. No Aziz, no Evan Neal, no Shane Lemieux, obviously no McKinney, no Adoree Jackson, no Fabian Moreau. Nick Gates will be playing center, right? No Bredesen.
We're missing 3/5 of our starting offense.
No Wan'Dale Robinson.
We're missing Robinson, who's arguably our best receiver after last week. We're missing our starting tight end, Daniel Bellinger. And then on the other side, we're missing, obviously, Aziz. We're missing our 2 starting corners, our backup corner, our backup corner. Maybe, what's his name plays tomorrow? Flott. I could see him getting some time. Maybe in the slot or on the outside. But, yeah, we're so thin. We're so thin all over the road. We're missing our best player, arguably our best player on our defense with McKinney. Thank you to the ATV. We're just completely decimated right now.
Patricia said Max Anderson might start, right?
Yeah, Jake Anderson.
Or Jake Anderson, sorry.
Yeah, he is going to start.
Yeah.
At guard.
So, yeah.
Who's got 80 career snaps in the NFL.
And the only time I remember him playing is when Daboll chewed him for full starting on 4th and 1.
Yeah, he has 8 snaps as a Giant.
It's a rough one. Chris P says 24-21 Giants in overtime. I would love that. I would love a game to go in overtime and beat them in overtime. That'd be exciting as hell if that happened.
That'd be great.
I just want this to come down to the end, man. I just want a chance. I just want a chance. That's it. I just want to play these guys tough. And that's the style of football we play. It's not sexy. We're not throwing the ball over the field. It is a boring style of football, but it's effective.
Jack Anderson. Yeah, I said Jake Anderson. It's Jack Anderson. Thank you, guys.
So that's what we have to. We have to make Dallas play our game, which is slow the pace down and muddy it up. Like Chris said, muddy it up. I even said the Giants may have to get dirty in this one. They may have to have a couple of late hits and try to rattle Dallas and get in their head something.
Yeah.
Try to get them off their game. Take advantage of Micah Parsons' aggressiveness with some RPOs, or maybe Patricia didn't seem like they would run the Wildcat because we haven't done it in a while, but something Wildcat, jet sweeps, flea flickers. You might have to try to trick them. Because we can't just line up and beat Dallas. In its trenches, we can't.
We saw what happened the first time we played them.
Yeah,
and that was with Evan Neal. That was with that was with a healthy roster. So, we're not beating them in the trenches. Yeah. We're not, and which means it's going to be hard to win the game. But we'll see. I think. Listen, if we're going to win this game, Dan Jones is going to play out of his mind. Yes. That's the only way, and it's going to be almost impossible for him to do that. I'm already anticipating having to talk about fans complaining about Daniel Jones that aren't taking into account the situation he's going to have to deal with this week with a completely banged up offensive line and no Wan'Dale Robinson going up against this Dallas defense. But he's going to have to play out of his mind because we could sit on here and say that the Giants need to establish the run. They need to muddy up the game, and I agree with that. I don't think they're going to be able to do it. I don't think we're going to be able to establish the ground, and Daniel Jones is going to have to play out of his mind for the Giants to win this game. And I hope we are able to establish the ground game, and I hope we are able to muddy up the game. But if we are not, Jones is going to have to make incredible throw after incredible throw.
He's going to have to use his legs.
He's going to have to use his legs, and he's going to have his greatest performance he's ever had.
Yep. We're definitely going to have to get very creative.
Yeah.
Very creative in this game to find a way to run the ball. And I would like to see Saquon get more screens. Chris, you mentioned the split back set with him and Breida. That way, maybe Brady can stay in a block and Saquon can get out in the flat, and we could get a couple linemen out there, and maybe he can make something happen if there's more space, there's less congestion, and he can make some guys miss. But we got to get him the ball in space. I mean, he's our best player on offense, and you're just going to have to find a way. You have to use your best weapons, and that's Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. And hopefully, maybe Kenny Golladay does. Maybe Kenny Golladay does have a big game. He's played for Detroit for years. He's used to playing on Thanksgiving. So maybe, I don't know. This is tough. I know what game plan to go in. Because like I said, we can't just line up and beat Dallas. We can't.
Yeah.
Can't. We don't have the horses.
I mean, that's just being realistic. And I see Jordan McQueen says you're also negative. We don't know what's going to happen. I'm just trying to give you guys my honest prediction.
I don't understand. I'll never get the term negative. I don't understand what negative is. So do you want us to come on here and go, oh, well, half of our team has been besieged by injuries. Dallas just beat the holy hell out of Minnesota, who's 8-1, 40-3. Dallas beat us really bad the first time we played them. Oh, Chris, I got no question. We're going to go into Dallas and we're going to whoop their ass.
That was without Dak, and that was home.
Right. I guess I would rather be negative than delusional. You can't win either way. You said you're going to beat them. You guys are delusional. You say you're going to lose them. You guys are negative. You can't win.
Listen, we got a chance. You always have a chance. Anytime you lace them up on an NFL field, you got a chance.
All we're doing is talking
I'm not
about
going to come on here and tell you guys that I think we're going to win, because I don't.
All we're doing is talking about the game and the matchups.
Yeah.
It's not negative. These are absolute facts.
Yeah.
That we're talking about here. The absolute facts.
I wouldn't have picked this if we were completely healthy. I would have thought we had a decent chance to win if we were completely healthy. But the way that this team currently is, I mean, no.
Mike said you need to drink LakerDog. I am going to have a beer. I'm going to forego the 250 empty calories. I'm going to put that in my diet plan for tomorrow. That's the only cheat food I'm having is a beer, but I will have one. Depending on how the game goes, if it goes good, I might have two. Might have a celebratory one as well. But
yeah.
We'll see what happens. But I just want a competitive game. Template, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Says my hot take is if Daniel Jones isn't with us after this year, we pick up Jordan Love for the Packers.
I don't think that's a hot. Well, the Daniel Jones not being, I don't think it's a hot take. I think some Giants fans feel that way, and even I don't. Even though I do think Jones is going to be back, I don't think it. I wouldn't be beyond shocked if he wasn't. The Jordan Love thing to me doesn't make a whole lot of sense, though, because Jordan Love, he's entering now. Next year's going to be his 4th year. So at that point, you're losing the luxury of his rookie deal because you're only going to have one more year. You're going to have the 5th-year extension. At that point, if you're moving on Jones, I'd rather just draft my quarterback and have 5 years of rookie control as opposed to 2 for a guy that's never played in the NFL. So I don't like the Jordan Love idea. I'd rather draft a quarterback if I was moving on from Jones as opposed to Love. If I'm going to bring in a outside starter, I would want it to be more of a proven commodity if I was going that route, but I'd prefer to go draft if I'm moving on from Jones.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'd rather, because you figure we're going to be picking in the late teens, early 20s. That contract costs about $5 million a year, so that's not too much. And I'd just much rather do that than have to re-sign Jordan Love. And you're going to get a guy that's fresh out of college and he's younger. Jordan Love has barely any NFL experience, so it'd almost be like you're drafting a guy, but he's been in the league for 4 years. I would just much rather draft Michael Penix. If Daniel Jones isn't here, they want to replace him, then just get Michael Penix. Thank you.
Yeah, just draft the quarterback. I don't know who, whatever your preference is.
I think Michael Penix may be there. He may not be there.
He'll be there. I've been looking at. He's not even mocked in the 1st round right now.
All right. Well, I guess
he'll
it'll
be
depend
there.
on the combine, correct? But Michael Penix is your guy. I like him. LT, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. It's not like the Pac-12 is a bad division. The Pac-12 is good.
Well, they have a lot of good quarterbacks.
They do. They do have a lot of good quarterbacks. I don't know how good Bo Nix really is.
It's hard to tell, though, because there's no defense in that conference. Everybody's
that's the Big 12. The Pac-12, it depends.
Every time I watch a Pac-12 game, they're putting up 40 points.
Well,
whether it be UCLA, whether it be USC, whether it be
USC has an amazing offense.
They do.
And it's Lincoln Riley. We all know that they don't play any damn defense.
That's the damn truth.
We all know that. But
Washington's always putting up points with Penix.
Yeah, Washington's good. They got good teams. Oregon's really good.
Oregon,
Utah's good.
Utah's got a pretty good defense.
So they're not bad. That was good. Yeah, two totally different games, right? Utah and Oregon was really good, lower scoring game, and then USC and UCLA, high scoring game.
Yeah.
But some good games this week for sure. LT, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you, brother. He says, I'll be a G-Man fan tomorrow. That's right. See, Eagles fans they hate the Cowboys.
There you go, LT.
They hate them. LT hates them. And his initials are LT. I mean, yes, of course he's pulling for the Giants. There's listen, LT may be an Eagles fan, but obviously he's a fan of Lawrence Taylor. So by that name, you can see. Y'all must create turnovers. There is no question, LT. We need more possessions. Than
+2. We got to be +2 in the turnover differential if we're going to have a shot to win tomorrow.
At least.
Yeah, +2. Which means we can't turn the ball over. Yep. But that's my number. I don't even think we could win if it's +1. I think it's got to be +2.
Yep.
Now, maybe, when I say that, maybe it's +1 and then they turn it over by going for it on 4th down, or they, you could look at it in a different way, but maybe we recover an onside kick. We need to find a way to create 2 extra possessions in this game. And if we do that, we got a shot.
Yep. Yeah. There's no question about that. G-Man 7 says, I wonder what type of trade value Rodgers says. I'm not taking Aaron Rodgers. I don't want him.
Yeah, I mean, how old is Rodgers now? And he makes a ton of money.
38, 39. He was drafted in 2005.
I don't want to bring in an outside quarterback.
I don't either. I don't think they would anyway. This is a new regime who's going to want their own quarterback. They're not going to want somebody from another team.
I want to stick with Jones this year.
I think they will too.
That's what I think they will do. I don't know that. I don't work for them. I don't speak to Joe Shane, but based off of all the factors, I think that's what makes the most sense this offseason. Stick with Jones, keep building up the rest of the roster, bring him back on a short-term commitment, and see where you go from there. And then, then you reevaluate the following year. You keep reevaluating until such time either Jones becomes the incredible quarterback that's worth giving that lengthy extension to, or you feel confident enough in taking a quarterback that you feel could be that incredible quarterback.
Right.
That's the proper thing to do. You don't reach on a quarterback. You don't give up tons of draft capital to move up and get a quarterback when you have as many holes as this team currently does, unless you think that guy's the next Pat Mahomes. Like, you have to be that convinced, in my opinion, with the state that this team is currently in, to give up the draft capital it would take to move up and get a quarterback in next year's draft. So
right.
That's why I think they're going to roll with Jones another year. I really do. I think they're going to roll with Jones.
It makes sense. I mean, like I said, because if you bring in a rookie quarterback, you're putting him in a really bad situation.
Yeah.
So try to build around Daniel Jones. Give him like I said, give him a 3-year deal, whatever. Try to build him around for 2 years. And if he's not the guy, then you can move on from him. But at that point, you would have established the core around the quarterback, and you would have built up your line and given him some receivers.
Build up the team the way the Chiefs did for Mahomes before they made the move and traded up and went up and got him.
Correct.
Build the team the way the 49ers did before, even though Lance hasn't worked out yet, but build the team the way the Niners did before they made that move to go up and get Lance.
Yes. It's Rick. Yes, we will be calling the game tomorrow.
Don't make that move with the amount of holes the Giants currently have. That's my opinion on the matter.
I agree. And then he says the 49ers are very overrated, to be honest. But then again, he's an Eagles fan, so you can take his football IQ for what it is.
49ers are the best team in the NFC. And obviously I'm a little bit biased. They were my preseason Super Bowl pick, but I had the Niners and Bills before the year started. I think the Niners would destroy the Eagles. I really believe that. Once the Niners are clicking, which I think they're starting to, I think they're a much better team than the Philadelphia Eagles.
The Niners are really good, and then they added Christian McCaffrey.
I think the Niners are a better team than the Eagles.
They have George Kittle, one of the best tight ends in the league. They got Deebo Samuel, who's an absolute beast. They got Brandon Ayuk, who's a very good wide receiver. They got who's McCaffrey, obviously, is fantastic. Who's the other running back?
More importantly, they have
Wilson. Who's the other running back? He's also really good.
Well, they lost Wilson, but they got Elijah Mitchell.
I'm sorry. That's the kid I was thinking.
But they got, to me, to give Philadelphia fits, you need an elite pass rusher. They got that. They got Bosa. And if Bosa can get pressure and force Hurts to throw from the pocket, I think it's a disaster. I think if I'm an Eagles fan, that's the last team I want to see in the playoffs. I think that's a horrible matchup.
You got McCaffrey and Mitchell who can both run and can both catch out of the backfield. We know the Eagles have a hard time stopping the run.
I would
and
not.
You
if
also
I'm
have
an
a
Eagles
Shanahan
fan,
offense.
I don't want to see the 49ers in the playoffs if I'm an Eagles fan.
No, probably not.
No.
That's not, yeah, they don't match up well with the 49ers.
No.
They don't match up well with Dallas. I know they beat Dallas the first time. I don't think they match up well with Dallas either.
I think Dallas is the best team in the division. I really do.
Well.
And I hate saying that.
They had Cooper Rush that first game. And I don't know if Zeke played that game either. I forgot when Zeke got hurt. But I'm not saying Philadelphia can't beat Dallas because I do think they can. I just don't. Those type of teams that are complete on offense now the Eagles have a really good secondary, so that definitely helps.
Eagles are good. Very good.
Yeah, the Eagles are good. They're probably, I don't know if I'd say the 49ers are better than Philly. They match up good with Philly.
I think
don't know,
they're
that's
better.
close. But Dallas, I do think, is a little bit better than Philadelphia.
I would rank it right now.
Philly's definitely in the top 3.
Oh, yeah. I think the top 3 teams in the NFC right now are in no specific order is
Dallas, Philly, and San Fran.
Dallas, Philly, and San Fran.
I agree.
I think those are the top 3 teams in the NFC.
I agree. And then I think the Chiefs are better than all of them.
Yeah, and the Bills if they start to click again.
Yeah.
But.
So I think there's 5 really elite teams in the NFL, and those are the 5. And then you have a big drop off.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else in the NFC. Like nobody in the
Minnesota
South.
Minnesota does not impress. I know
I don't think they're
like us. We have a good record, but I mean, we're not. I don't think anybody's scared to play the Giants.
I don't think they're an elite team. I honestly don't think that. I think the only potential elite team in the NFC is the Niners. I think the Cowboys and Eagles are very good. I don't think they're elite teams. I think the Niners could be an elite team. I don't view the other two as elite teams.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out.
The Eagles play San Francisco, right? Or Washington?
Washington plays the 49ers.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Well, go Niners. LA Lou, thank you for the super chat. He says, at least you're 7-3 and have your starting quarterback and running back. My Rams have 3 wins. Half our O-line was signed 3 weeks ago. Same here. And we're starting a quarterback who's making his first start, wasn't drafted, and only has made a handful of passes. But hey, you guys just won a Super Bowl. I would gladly take a Super Bowl and then win 3 games the next year.
Yeah, well, dude. And they went to a Super Bowl too with Goff.
Right.
Yeah, I think that you might be in a little bit of hurt now, Lou, but it was worth it.
It was worth it.
You might be in a little bit of hurt. You may be a bad team now for the next 2 or 3 years because you gave up all those draft picks to get to where you were. You got to clear out the cap space. You got to start your rebuild. But yeah, I think the Rams are going to start over. Maybe not next year because they really can't because they don't have a first round pick. But soon, I think you're going to have to start over. I think you're going to start rebuilding that team soon.
Yeah. Fabian,
long-term bad, like we say it all the time, you have to build through the draft.
Absolutely.
You could have a short period of success like the Rams did, where you build the majority of it through free agency and trades, but to have sustained success, to be like the Patriots were or the Steelers were, to be good for 10 to 15 years, you got to build.
Baltimore's another one.
You got to build through the draft.
Yeah, and you have to have really good drafts because those teams every year draft at the back of the first round.
Yeah.
And every year they have fantastic drafts. And every year they're very competitive. Yeah. That's how you do it. Lamar Jackson wasn't a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah. He was the 5th quarterback in his draft taken.
Right. He was 30th, right? He was at the very back end, 31st, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So that's how you do it, man. Fabian, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. He says, turkey legs all around for the Giants victory. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Fabian.
Thanksgiving, buddy. And hopefully.
Or Fabian, rather.
Hopefully. So where are we at? Let's see. Carl says, don't sleep on the Eagles. They just got Ndamukong Suh. Well, I don't think anybody's sleeping on the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles are 9-1.
The Eagles are really good.
The Eagles are really good. I
think they're probably going to have home field advantage. They're probably going to get the bye. But
the teams that can beat Philadelphia are teams, like Chris said, with elite pass rushers, Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Joey Bosa.
Nick
Bosa, sorry.
Yeah.
And teams that can run the ball. Pollard and Zeke. Wilson and McCaffrey.
Mitchell McCaffrey.
Mitchell. So it's tough. I mean, they got 2 good run. Both of those teams got 2 good running backs. Both of those teams have a dominant edge rusher.
Yeah. I think they match up well with the Eagles, both those teams.
Yeah. So that is, and then listen, Philadelphia got by the skin of their teeth against Indianapolis after getting beat by Washington. So every team has weaknesses. And Howie Roseman knew that. And that's why Howie Roseman went out and got Joseph and Sue. But, is that going to make a huge difference? I mean, you'll find out when you play better teams. I don't know. We'll find out. But nobody's saying the Eagles aren't a good team. They are.
I'd be surprised if the Eagles aren't playing in the NFC title game, depending on who they match up with in the second round, because I think they're going to get a first-round bye. Mm-hmm. And they'd probably play like the Bucks I guess it depends on who they play in the second round, but they'd probably play the Bucks or the Cowboys in the second round if I had to guess.
Yeah.
That'd be a good game.
I mean, the Bucks... I don't ever count out Tom Brady.
You never know what Tom Brady.
I don't care what. I don't give a damn about the record. I don't care who's playing. I don't ever count that guy out. Ever.
Yeah,
ever. He could be on the Giants and going against. And I would never count.
Oh, they played last year, and it was obviously a different team. But the Bucks beat them up
pretty hell out of them. They shut him out for 3 quarters.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Demir, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. He says somehow Daniel Jones be blamed if they lose. Oh, that's definite.
Demir, that's just the way it works, being a quarterback in the NFL, specifically in New York. The fans aren't going to take into account that, the situation that he has tomorrow. They don't care. The fans that don't like Daniel Jones, he's going to they're going to destroy him. But yeah, Daniel Jones could throw 2 or 3 picks tomorrow. I'm not going to kill him with what he's got rolling out there tomorrow. Yeah, he's in for a shitstorm tomorrow. I'm not even going to lie. If he's able to keep this team in the football game tomorrow, he's I don't care what the stats say, he had an incredible performance.
Yeah. Dane asked if I'm going to watch the Apple Cup Saturday night. It depends. It depends on what other games are on. I haven't checked the college football schedule. I just know I'm not missing Ohio State, Michigan. I don't know when USC and Notre Dame play. I don't know if that's a primetime game or if it's an afternoon game. I don't know if that's in South Bend or in South California. But it'll depend. But I switch back and forth a lot. Obviously, college football games, they stagger them, and the half times are 45 minutes long. So I'm always going back and forth. So I'm sure I'll watch some of that for sure. But there is no way I'm missing Michigan, Ohio State. No way.
And I'm not missing that game either, by the way. I'm looking forward to that game. But let me ask you a question. Let's play the hypothetical game that the Giants do let Daniel Jones walk. I think we both agree he's going to get signed to be a starter somewhere.
Absolutely.
This argument that people had before the year that he'd be a backup. No, somebody's going to – I'm not saying he's going to get, incredible money, but somebody's going to sign him to be a starter. Could the Jets sign him? How bad would that – imagine if the Jets – because it's possible, because I think they're going to be looking for a quarterback. Because the Jets have a lot of talent on that team. They got good young wide receivers.
Breece Hall is going to be back.
What if he signed with the Jets and they went on to be a really good football team? How would Giants fans feel if the Jets signed Daniel Jones?
That'd be like a kick in the balls. That's what that would be. It'd be like a kick in the balls.
Yeah.
You think they're giving up on Zach Wilson already?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I think they're moving. I don't think that you bench Zach Wilson in the middle of a playoff race, and they could paint it however they want. I don't think you bench him for Mike White if you're not ready to move on from Zach Wilson at the end of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Dane. Yeah, I know it's Washington State. I don't know what time the games start is what I'm saying. So, if I've been watching Washington all year because I love Michael Penix, but I don't know if that game, obviously that game starts at either 10 or 10:30 because it's on the West Coast. But I don't know, if USC and Notre Dame play at 8:00, the game might not get over till 11:30. So depending on where that game is, if it's a really good game, I'd probably finish that and then go over to Washington State, which is usually what I do with the Pac-12. I watched pretty much every Washington game since they played Michigan State. I really haven't missed a Washington because I do like Michael Penix and I just like watching. Same thing with I was going to watch it anyway because I love Caleb Williams. So it's funny that the 2 quarterbacks I like the best playing the Pac-12. It's strange because I never really cared for the Pac-12, but it's really good this year. I think the Pac-12 overall is better than the Big Ten. I know Penn State, Michigan and Ohio State are good, but the Big Ten fell off. Minnesota's not great. Wisconsin's no good. So I don't know. I love college football. I really will sit there. I told you, I'm going to put that pecan pie right in front of me, and I'm just going to sit there and eat it with the fork. I'm not cutting pieces out of it. I'm not putting it on a plate. I may cut a piece out and put it on the plate and microwave it a little bit and put a little whipped cream on it. That sounds really good.
Can't go wrong with that.
That sounds pretty good.
What time is the Ohio State game?
Is that a noon game? I'll check real quick.
Let me take a look. My guess is that it's probably at night, no?
I think it's an afternoon game. I don't think it's a night game.
It is at yeah, you're right. It's a noon game.
Yeah, I thought it was earlier.
That game is going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be really good.
And I know Harbaugh's never beaten Ohio State, right? Or maybe he's beaten them once since he's been at Michigan.
And they do. Notre Dame and USC play at 7:30, so that'll just be ending. As Washington. Well, I can check that real quick too, because maybe Washington State play at 10:30. That'd be great. If that was the case.
I'm looking forward to that game though.
But those are 3 games I definitely want to watch. Yeah, they play at 10:30, so that's perfect. So I don't know what the 3:30 game is that I'll find to watch.
Notre Dame's been playing better as of late too. They may give USC a tough game.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's a good rivalry game. So that'll definitely be a really good game.
Yeah, and that's a big game for USC.
13th in the country, or I'm sorry, Notre Dame's up to 13th in the country. So it's going to be really good. It's going to be really good. It's a good day of college football. Definitely looking forward to some of that.
By the way, I know you're not a huge college basketball fan. I'm a big St. John's fan.
Yep.
6-0 to start the year. They just beat Syracuse last night.
Yeah, people were asking me if I watch college basketball. I'm like, I really don't, because I watch so much college football, and the NBA takes up a lot of my time, obviously, in the NFL. So I just don't until football's over. When football's over,
you get into it a little bit.
Then I start to pay more attention because the tournament gets closer. And obviously,
I
love the bet. That may be the best sporting event of all of them.
I think it is. Honestly, but I follow St. John's. They were my dad's college, so and they're obviously, like, to me, they're New York's team. I know a lot of people say Syracuse, but they play at the Garden, and I used to have season tickets to St. John's, and yeah, it's good to see they've beaten some quality teams too. They beat Nebraska, who's a decent team. They beat Temple, who had a win against Villanova earlier in the year, and then last night they beat Syracuse. So good start for St. John's this year if you're into college basketball.
I missed the Big East. The way it used to be,
yeah.
That was back in the day. That's why I hate Syracuse, because I was a Georgetown fan. I was a Georgetown fan because of Patrick Ewing. And I was, I didn't watch Georgetown when he was there. I started watching the Knicks when he became a New York Knick. And then I started following Georgetown because he came from there. Then they had Alonzo Mourning, or Dikembe Mutombo, and Alonzo Mourning, and Allen Iverson. So I enjoyed that. And I just loved the Big East.
I loved it too, growing up.
Unbelievable conference.
Yeah, Big East was awesome. I don't go back to the 85 Big East, but even when I was watching it, 97, 98, 99.
They were all so good.
Yeah, those teams were great.
Villanova, Georgetown, Syracuse, UConn, St. John's.
Boston College was even good.
Yep. Oh, it was good stuff. That was really good.
Yeah.
C. Barkley, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. He says, if not Danny, who should or could we have a quarterback? If it's not Danny, see, I believe they're going to draft a quarterback. I don't think you want to pay a free agent quarterback to come in here. So I think if it's not Danny, I think they'll try to draft one, and maybe Tyrod Taylor starts a few games and then they bring the rookie in. But I think it would be in the draft.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to sign anybody. If Jones isn't coming back, I mean, I guess they could. I mean, if you want to look at guys,
I'd rather give Daniel Jones the money.
Exactly. That's my line of thinking. Like, I'm not even going to throw Lamar Jackson in the conversation because I don't think that's happening. So
Jimmy G is going to make way too much money.
You're looking at, your options are Jimmy G, Derek Carr, or bring Daniel Jones back in an offense that he's already very familiar with players he's familiar. Like,
and I don't want Derek Carr. I think Daniel Jones is going to be better than Derek Carr.
So you just bring back Jones at that point. So to me, it's
Jones
draft. It's Jones or the draft.
Yep. I absolutely. Greg, my friend, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Every single Giants draft pick this year has been out with an injury. It's insane.
Is that true?
Thibodeau,
Dane Belton, yes.
Neal.
Obviously, McKeithen's out for the year.
Wandale Robinson.
Wandale's out for the year.
I don't know if Micah McFadden's been out with an injury. He just doesn't see the field a lot.
He has seen it a lot more recently. I don't know McFadden got hurt.
Darian Beavers was hurt.
Obviously. I think outside of McFadden, everybody's missed time. And maybe even McFadden missed a little time. I don't know. But outside of McFadden, everybody's missed time. Yep.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
Cordell Flott missed time. Yep.
Wow. That is crazy.
Bellinger, of course.
Yeah. That is amazing. Guy says McFadden hasn't. I don't know because I never saw him on the field, so I really didn't know. But
I see somebody say we still have Tyrod Taylor. I don't know how you could convince, how do you sell that locker room on bringing back Tyrod Taylor as your starting quarterback if the Giants go out there and win 9 games and Daniel Jones plays pretty well this year? I don't know. I think either draft a quarterback or you bring back Daniel Jones.
That's it.
Yeah,
options.
I don't think you could bring Tyrod Taylor in as the starter.
There's nobody coming out as a free agent that's better than Daniel Jones. You might as well give Daniel Jones the money. Daniel Jones is younger than all those guys too.
Yeah.
So you're better off doing that. Or like I said, you draft a quarterback and you're not going to pay him as much as Daniel Jones. But those are really the only 2 options. So Daniel Jones coming back, I think is the biggest probability. Or if not, you get Michael Penix and you go from there.
I think a lot of people when they because they talk about money, and I get it. I understand that they just look at the dollars and they say, well, I'm going to have to pay Jones $25 million against the cap. It's only a 1-year commitment, first off. If the way that they're going to structure this contract, maybe a 2-year commitment tops. They're not going to give more than a 2-year commitment where they can't get out of the contract. So to me, I don't really care about the dollar amount if it's only a single year or if it's you're not going to build your team through free agency anyway next year. It's going to be about retaining your players and structuring the contracts a certain way. So as long as it's not like a 5-year commitment, whatever. That's the going rate for a quarterback. That's a bridge quarterback. That's what it costs in today's NFL. So whatever, it is what it is. That doesn't really bother me. So you also have to take into account the locker room, though. People don't do that. They say, oh, I'd rather sign Mitch Trubisky for $10 million, or I'd rather just play Tyrod Taylor for $5 million and use the $20 million somewhere else. You have to take into account what Daniel Jones means to the players in that locker room. And I know fans don't realize that, and they don't take that into account when they're playing, GM on their couch. Daniel Jones is
playing Madden football.
Or playing Madden football. Daniel Jones is very respected in that locker room. The players love Daniel Jones, and the guy plays his ass off for that team each and every week. So that gets factored in by Joe Schoen.
And I think Dable loves Daniel Jones.
Dable does love Daniel Jones. So, yeah, I think either Jones comes back or you draft a quarterback. I don't really see another option next year, unless you were to trade for a significant upgrade if somehow Lamar Jackson became available or something like that. But outside of something like that, it's either Jones or a draft pick.
Brent, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. He says if Joe lets DJ go, it's either because his value is higher than they value they placed, or DJ is close to his ceiling. I don't think he's close to his ceiling. I don't think we've seen a ceiling yet.
Yeah, I don't think.
But he's saying if Joe, they think that Daniel Jones has hit his ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in terms of production, he certainly hasn't matched his ceiling. But in terms of the way that they evaluate him, in terms of what they could get out of him, they don't think his ceiling's high enough. Listen, if they love a quarterback, they're going to draft one if he's available when they're picking. But that's easier said than done. And for them to make sure they get that quarterback, they're going to have to trade up, and they're going to have to give up significant draft capital. That has to be factored in. And they have to come to a conclusion on Daniel Jones more than likely before the draft, because free agency hits before the draft. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to lock him down before the draft. So we're going to know. We're going to know before the draft whether or not Daniel Jones is going to be back.
Yep. To your point, Anthony Phillips said in the chat, Jones has the locker room.
That is a factor. And I think a lot of fans don't take that into account. Yep. That is a major factor.
No, ma'am. Yeah, did he have that before and I just didn't notice?
He changed the picture. He changed the picture.
That's kick ass. That's right up there at Bodo's. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. He says, what's your thoughts on Hendon Hooker? His stock falling due to his injury. Yeah, that sucked. I mean, you don't want to see him. I'm pretty sure he tore his ACL. I didn't see the update, but it looked like an ACL. He's 25. Ward is a potential day 2 pick. Do you take him on day 2, especially third round if he's still there? Listen, Hendon Hooker's had a nice year with Tennessee. That is a very gimmicky offense for a quarterback. Now, I remember somebody coming in saying Jalen Hyatt's a gimmick wide receiver. I'm like, I don't know how you can be a gimmick wide receiver. You can play in a gimmick offense, but you're still a good wide receiver. But quarterbacks can benefit from that. That's why Ohio State, Urban Meyer's quarterbacks never succeed at the end of a level, because those are not beneficial for an NFL type of offense. I don't know how good Hendon Hooker would be in the NFL, and I wouldn't want to take a chance on a 25-year-old that is
He's
probably
older than Daniel Jones.
right, and he needs knee surgery. I probably wouldn't do it.
No.
I don't think Hendon Hooker is the future for the Giants. So,
And yeah, like you said, and I've watched a few Tennessee games. I like watching them play. They're fun to watch.
yes, they are.
Their offense is so misleading in terms of statistics. They never huddle. They always snap the ball within 5 seconds.
Yep.
So they probably get like 20 extra plays than the average team. Like, to me, he runs like a really statistical friendly offense. And I think a lot of fans just look at his stats and they're like, no, he's pretty good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't view him as like as a franchise quarterback. Let's put it that way.
Not for the Giants.
No.
Not for the Giants. Hooker did tear his ACL. I thought he did. It looked bad when he went down. But yeah, that's not the guy you want. Like, if you're a team that has your quarterback already for the next 2 or 3 years and you want to stash Hendon Hooker away and you can afford to do it because you're a good team. I'm trying to think of a team that could do that. Denver, maybe. I'm trying to think of a team, like, you have Russell Wilson. You're stuck with him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a team, Green Bay, maybe. I don't know how much longer Aaron Rodgers. Tampa Bay. Well, I think Kyle Trask sucks. Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at guys that are near the end of their career that are still competitive and are probably going to be there for a couple of years. And
I just don't like the idea, unless it's like Joe Burrow, who was obviously like a consensus, like, elite quarterback prospect.
Elite, yes.
I don't like the idea of drafting a quarterback when he's 25 years old.
Yep.
I think it limits his upside. And at that position specifically, if I'm using a day one pick, I'm going for upside. So I just don't like the idea of drafting a quarterback that's 25 years old.
No.
You think about Chris Wanke. You think about who I think was like 28.
Brandon Weeden. He was 28.
Yeah. So, like,
28.
If I'm drafting a quarterback, my preference is he's 21, 22. I don't want to be drafting a 25-year-old quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, Green Bay still has Jordan Love a backup, but Jordan Love is going to be a free agent very soon.
So, what'd you say?
No, Bolt says Green Bay still has Jordan Love, but Jordan Love ain't going to be there much longer.
Yeah, he's got 2 more years. Well, probably only 1 more year, because I doubt we'll see, but they very well may not pick up the 5th-year option. He hasn't played yet for them.
So that's what I mean, but I'm not sure if Brady retires again. Brady not retiring cost him his wife.
Yeah, it did. Or maybe he knew that they were already getting split up, so he said, "Screw it, I'll play football."
Yeah. Well, what can you do? What can you do? McFrench from must have just got here. He said, "How's the Eagles fans would be worse?" It would be worse. That's a terrible thing. And one of my best friends of 30 plus years is an Eagles fan. That's awful. It's awful.
Yeah.
I hate the Eagles.
I don't think I could be
a Yankee fan though, so I get, it's all good.
So you got that in common, okay?
I do have that, yeah. But he was an Eagles fan because of Randall Cunningham. He loved Randall Cunningham, and hey, listen, I love Randall Cunningham too. I wanted Minnesota to win that Super Bowl '98 so bad for Randall. There's very few Eagles that I actually liked in my lifetime. I don't like any of them, but I loved Randall Cunningham. I loved Reggie White. And Eric Allen is my favorite Eagle of all time. And that's really it. I can't think of another Eagle that I would say I actually liked. I didn't like
Reggie White. I didn't really get to watch Reggie White while he was an Eagle. I know him from his Packers days, but Reggie White's hard not to like.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Like Reggie White it seems like such a great guy, right? Like so he's like impossible not to like. I don't think I've liked any other Eagle. I didn't hate McNabb. I
hated McNabb.
I didn't like
you, Sandy Eagles. No.
Yeah, I didn't like him. Yeah, I've never liked an Eagle, but I think it would have been hard for me not to like Reggie White.
Yeah, I like Eric Allen and Randall. Well, those were definitely the guys, but I can't think of another Philadelphia Eagle that I liked at all. I mean, Keith Jackson, the tight end, he wasn't horrible. Someone said Brian Dawkins. I freaking hated him.
Dawkins and Deshaun Jackson are my 2 most hated.
I hated him. I couldn't stand either one of those guys. Yeah, I didn't like them. One of the funniest things ever, I remember when, what the hell was that called? When Mike Greenberg and Mike and Mike years ago on ESPN. I used to listen to them before I went to work. And I used to listen to the radio. I'm sorry. And I remember Mike Golick saying one time somebody named a harness horse after the Eagles, like defensive line or something. And Greenberg goes, what? He goes, what was that? What was the horse called? A bunch of stars and Golick? Made me laugh. That was good. That cracked me up. A bunch
Brian
of
Westbrook, he was good. I didn't like him, but he was.
I like him. He was good. Listen, LaShawn McCoy was good. Brian Westbrook was a killer. But I didn't like them.
Didn't like him.
Didn't hate them. I didn't like them.
Didn't like Vic. I respected him. He's a good player, but I didn't like him.
Yeah, I didn't really consider Vic an Eagle.
He had his best year as an Eagle.
Falcon. Yeah. I mean, it's not like I hated guys like Keith Byers or things like that, but I hated Andre Waters. I hated Buddy Ryan.
Yeah, I didn't like T.O., Dan. I get why people liked him. I didn't like T.O. I guess I didn't hate him.
Not really an Eagle. I'm thinking like guys that started with the Eagles.
When I think about T.O., I think about a 49er, actually.
Yeah.
Because he spent the majority of his career as a 49er. And obviously
he was only with the Eagles for 2 years?
Yeah, he was with the Cowboys for a few years. He was with the Bills for a year.
It's like Moss. I consider Randy Moss a Viking.
He's a Viking. He had his best years with the Patriots, but he's a Viking.
I consider him a Viking. Like, I don't – it's hard. But, yeah, T.O. played for – did he play for Baltimore? That fell through, right?
He played with Cincinnati. He played – I think he played with Cincinnati, T.O.
Played with Dallas, obviously.
Dallas. He played with the Bills.
Yeah, he was all over the place.
He played with a lot of teams at the end of his career.
Yep. Dashy, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Brilly, my friend. He says the Bulls got their revenge and beat the Bucks 118-113. And Caruso didn't come out with a broken wrist. Right now, the Ducks lead the Rangers 3-2 in Anaheim. So Dashy's having a good night. I hope Dashy has to rage at the end of the Rangers game because I always want the Rangers to win. But thank you, Dash. I appreciate you, buddy. Steve, my friend, north of the border. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Says, sup, fellas? My girlfriend is coming over for the game tomorrow. Since we live in Canada, it's not Thanksgiving. Right. Your Thanksgiving is earlier in November or is it October? I think it's October. Why do I want to say October 11th? So I know I can't remember. It's the beginning of November or October.
I'll look it up.
So I told her Giants, if the Giants win, I'll buy you dinner. But if the Giants lose, you make
October 9th.
October 9th. Okay, so I was close. Steve, I guess you really can't lose either way. Either way, you're going to eat. That's a good thing. But let's hope that you have to buy her dinner.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Let's hope you have to buy her dinner. Like I said, you win either way. If the Giants win, you win. If they lose, she's making you dinner. You've won either way. So that's a good bet or whatever. It's a good bet. But listen, guys, we're going to get out of here. It's 12:10. I'm going to say thank you very much for everything you guys and girls do for us always. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. We're going to be live on this channel at 4 o'clock for the Cowboys and Giants. If you have a chance to stop by. If you're busy, completely understand. Don't change your plans for us, okay? But if you're not there, just want to say have a great and happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy, be safe, and extremely grateful and thankful for today is Thanksgiving now, actually, because it's Thursday here in New York. But extremely grateful and thankful for everything you guys do for our channel. And we could have never imagined getting to this level when we started it. The Giants have been a really bad team most of the time we've done this show this year. Talent-wise, we're not great, but we are 7-3, which has made it better for sure. We have an extremely tough game tomorrow, but win, lose, or draw, extremely thankful for all the support you guys and girls show, the levels you brought us to. It's extremely, it's humbling, and I can't say, there's not enough words in our language to let you all know how much I appreciate you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And like I said, if you got time tomorrow, swing on by and let's pull off a miracle.
Yeah. And I just want to answer this question real quick. Jacob asked, do you think they can make it at 9 wins? The only way I could see the New York Giants making the playoffs at 9 wins, and I mentioned it in Patricia Trainer's stream, if they sweep Washington, I think they get in with 9 wins because that's kind of our main competitor for that last seed right now. So I think if we were to sweep Washington and we lost the rest of our games, we'd probably get in because we'd own the tiebreaker against Washington at that point. But without sweeping Washington, I think it'll require 10 wins. As far as, can't wait for tomorrow. Looking forward to obviously eating the turkey and everything else before. Hopefully some of you guys swing on by for the game. If not, enjoy the holiday with your family.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays. So I hope
One of
you
mine
guys
too.
I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys have a great day with your family and whoever else you may celebrate it with. And like Baddog said, I'm incredibly thankful for all you guys that support both of our platforms, that come into the streams, that always have fun with us. So thank you on Thanksgiving, which it is now. I'm thankful for
Right.
you guys. So thank you guys for all the support you guys always show us. And hopefully tomorrow we have maybe the best turkey day of my life if the Giants were to win
Right.
tomorrow
Listen, you're going to eat
against
your
the Dallas
turkey.
Cowboys.
You eat your turkey, your stuffing, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, candy yams, mac and cheese, drink a beer, have some pie. But hopefully, after you've eaten all that, your dessert is watching the Giants pull off the biggest Thanksgiving upset ever, maybe. Anyway, that's all we can hope for, right? But like I said, enjoy your Thanksgiving, guys. And if we see you tomorrow, awesome. If not, and we'll see you next time and enjoy. So for the entertainer talking sports, it is the Bad Diggity Dizzle. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And let's go, Giants. We out.